And next up, we have the
Got a lot going on tonight. Tonight's going to be a good one. I hope the energy's high in the audience. Everybody take a seat, relax. Yeah. We're giving away a code. We're giving away a code tonight, folks. I'm very excited for this. An outstanding Mooch Maniac by the name of Rich Kreischer has donated a gift card for PSN that is enough to get everybody, or not everybody. I wish it could be everybody. Rich, you got enough for everybody? No? All right. We're only doing one. We're doing one code, but it's going to be enough for a digital deluxe edition of The Last of Us 2. So, guys, stay tuned. Stay privy to the chat. Someone in the chat tonight will win that code from me. Again, courtesy of Rich Kreischer. Guys, welcome to the show. We are going to have an outstanding CrossFire tonight. It's an exciting weekend. A lot of new console information coming out. The Last of Us 2, of course, releasing today. A lot of us playing it midnight, Thursday night into Friday morning. Fantastic. I want to say thanks to all the major Mooch Maniacs, the Mooch Maniacs, and the VIP Maniacs out there. Guys, there's a little join button right above that description. Please hit that join button. Think about becoming a member to the channel. It means the world to the Mooch. Thank you so much. Let me shout them all out. Shout out to Sir X-Man, Masshole 1977, Midway Monster, JudaZuk, WoolleyGamer, Raguram Sellakkannu, Ben Link, the major Mooch Maniacs, Lucifer, Brian B, a.k.a. Delirium Blage, Rich Kreischer, the unbelievably gracious Mooch Maniac that gave away the code tonight, and the VIP Mooch Maniacs, Rated D Demonic, the great Biggie2316, Doggy Dog 420, and Percolator 9000. And I'd like to do an honorable mention to the great Wilmy Hood and the forever Mooch Maniac, Longshot 316. We've got an amazing panel for you guys here. The super chat's alive and well. Doggy Dog 420 says the super chat's working. Try it out. It's great. I appreciate that. And then Biggie says, let the hate begin on Last of Us 2 while the bots defend Halo, Toads. Oh, and the super chat is working. Thank you, Biggie. And Rich Kreischer says, just enough for tonight. Rich, thank you so much. Guys, let's get into it. I've got the one, the only Crap Gamer Crap. We can't wait to hear what you got to say tonight, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, you know what? I'm doing good. I just wanted to point out, because I've been noticing that your thumbnails have been really good lately. Did you do those, or?
Well, yes. So it's a long story, Crap, and I'll make it short for the audience. But I got to be honest with you. So I had an outstanding. His name, it's hashtag I am Deadbird. That's what he goes by, and at I am Deadbird on Twitter. But I had him design with me a logo that would incorporate the M for Mooch, of course, and then CrossFire, and then I have a bunch of them for the videos that I'm going to be making, but I appreciate you taking them. I actually go in weekly and make the changes to them, but he had he designed me the template. He is an outstanding graphic designer, but thank you, Crap. We're the only people to mention it.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying, man, that they look really good. I like it. You know, it looks professional and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm excited. I started playing slightly after midnight last night on The Last of Us 2. You know, I'm excited to be able to talk about. Then there's a lot of cool stuff to talk about. There's a lot of news that came out, and so just an exciting time, and I'm very excited. Excited is the word, people.
Yes, it is. Great. Okay, that's the word. But I got news for you. Next on our list here, I got news for you. He's gotten his bar from 2 different states, New York. And also, Washington State. He's got to defend his boys up there. It's XBot 448. XBot, always great to have you, buddy. How you doing tonight?
What's going on, everybody? What is Mooch, Crap, rest of the panel got real big news for this week. For people who don't know, the Skate franchise, another Skate is coming out, people. That's got to be the biggest news of the week, right, guys?
Well, you know what? I got news for you. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and wait on that Xbox because
whatever, man. It's great to be here.
One of the best videos. I don't know. Oh, my mic's not working. Great.
Xbot likes the Skate franchise.
Oh, Lord. Dude, I love skateboarding games, man.
It's good. I mean, but like it's super early in development. They didn't even have anything.
Yeah, no, dude. For 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Good thing. I'm gonna have Tony Hawk's remaster 1 and 2.
I was saying, that's something tangible because that's coming out soon. So
dude, we're gonna roll. We're gonna roll together, man. We're gonna.
Hey, man, I'm getting it for sure, man. I like it. You know, the first 2 on Dreamcast I had, just fantastic memories of that. You know, those are some fun games. Where's Mooch? Did he go?
I don't know.
I can't hear Mooch. Just in. This is now Crap Gamer Reviews podcast. What's up, everybody?
Where the games aren't
Crap, you are. Let me just say something first of all. So my mic, no, let me give you some homage there. I got to be honest with you guys. My mic just literally unhooked for some reason. I had to hook it back in. This is how much of a professional the great Crap Gamer is. Crap literally knew that there was something wrong. He's been podcasting me for long enough that he knows if I'm actually quiet for that wrong, something is not right. So he took over. Crap, thank you for that professionalism.
I'm not that. I'm not a noob when it comes to this, man. I'll sit down. I'll handle shit. You know what I mean?
True professional. You are outstanding.
I was going to start yelling and making food analogies. It was going to be a good time. Don't even worry about it.
I thank you so much for that, Crap. I was like, boy, thank God. Outstanding, buddy. Outstanding. But then I've got my next guy here. He does his work for you. He hasn't even turned the game on. He hasn't played a minute of The Last of Us 2. Why? Because he's working for you. That's the great Gaming Forte. Forte, how the hell are you doing tonight?
Yo, man, it's been a long day. All the stores in my area are completely out of Last of Us. We sold out pretty freaking early.
Wow.
Only have our pre-orders left at this point. So games flying off the shelf, people looking for the system, people looking for the controller. It's like one of those dog eat dog days. Can't wait to talk to you guys about everything that you guys are experiencing. I will be playing as soon as I get home, but I refuse to pay for it.
I can't blame you for that, Forte, especially being a mooch. I definitely can't blame you for that.
Exactly.
But I appreciate you being here, brother. And then I've got my buddy here. I've got him here. He's from New York as well. He's almost going to give Mooch a run for his money. I'm being loud. It's at Dean Nax. Dean, welcome back to the show, buddy. How are you?
Oh, man. Wonderful to be here. Like always, Mooch, man. I was exhausted this morning. Oh, my God. I've been just grinding, doing what I got to do. I did jump into that Last of Us, and I can't wait to fucking talk about it. Let's go.
All right, let's get into it. And then I've got my buddy here, Eric Jackson. Eric, I got news for you. The reason that you need to be here, and I wish I could actually book you weekly, is because you are the man of reason, the sound of reason, the great Eric Jackson. There, Eric, welcome to the show, buddy. How are you tonight?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks for having me again. I try to be the voice of reason, man, but you just know behind the scenes, I'm throwing crates, I'm knocking over furniture. I'm like these bastards on Twitter. No, I'm just joking. But no, nothing's that serious, man. Like,
it's not.
I mean, like if people are online like freaking out, I'm like, you don't have enough problems.
Right?
You don't have enough of life kicking you in the nuts.
Yes, when we get off Twitter, there's a lot more bigger issues facing each one of us. That's true.
Yeah.
And again, he's already spitting truth before we even start the show. Eric, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that.
Anytime, man.
Then I've got an outstanding special guest here tonight, guys. Honestly, I got to be really honest with you. The guy literally, he gives so much to the community. I don't know how many people know just how much he does. He supports the Mooch. He actually comes out, hangs out during the streams. He's a Mooch Maniac. I think I'm going to go ahead and say he's a Mooch Maniac, even though he may not be. But I got news for you. I'm a Jay Barry Maniac. Jay, welcome to the show, buddy. How you doing tonight?
Oh, what is good, guys, man? Appreciate the invite, Mooch. To be honest with you, I've always been a fan of you guys for the longest. Even though I remember you guys were really Xbox.
Yes.
I always used to listen, because I liked your energy that you give. I support anybody that supports gaming, man. So I see you streaming the Bloodborne. I was like, what? Mooch is streaming Bloodborne? Let me
run find out.
Yeah, but I appreciate the invite, guys. It's gonna be an amazing time today.
Yes.
My energy just peaked after Knox's intro because he's hyped for The Last of Us. I'm hyped for The Last of Us. I see Crap playing The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Let's go, man. We about to get hyped in here, man.
Let's go. And then I've got another special guest here, and this is something that means a lot to me because literally, as he always says, flash the Mooch symbol up into the air. What ends up happening? The man is doing a podcast. The man also played from 12:01 a.m. his respected time until like 7 o'clock in the morning. Still gets up, still podcasts, and still answers the call. The great Big Cloud Gaming. Outstanding to have you here tonight, buddy, and thank you for coming.
Yep. I saw the badge signal. Let me tell you, or should I say the Mooch signal?
Appreciate it.
appreciate the invite. For
Yo,
sure.
man, outstanding to have you here. Let's get right to it, guys. I got to be honest, and I don't even know where to actually start. I'm going to start with Jay Barry. Jay, I'm going to go to you first because, your enthusiasm and just the way that you've been kind of advertising it in a very respectful way on Twitter and getting people, like you say, excited for gaming. This is one of those things where me and Crap talked about for years. It's a clear now symbol. Sony does it a little bit more than Microsoft as of late, but Microsoft did it with their fair share early on in this generation. They really gave this game, The Last of Us 2, its red carpet, right, due. And I don't remember the last time that we all kind of clamored together, got together, everybody turning on their PlayStations at 12 o'clock, pictures going out on Twitter, the excitement was in the air. None of you guys live within my circumference, my area, right? Guess what? I can still feel every one of you guys playing this game, enjoying that game, getting those pictures out, posting your opinions. And listen, good, bad, indifferent, that's your right, and no one will ever take that away from you. But I got to be honest with you, the fact that many people were playing, Jay, what was your take, not only with your experience with your first few hours into the game, but also what was your take with just the community's energy level from the past 24 hours?
Well, yeah, man. Like I definitely saw the hype shift for this game because, obviously, leaks came out. Some people was, iffy about the game. Some people wasn't with it at all. But as closer to the release of the game, finally, thank you. Yes. 7 years, thank you.
Right?
Especially after that state of play was a really, really good state of play that they did there because I saw a lot of people, energy shift once they saw that state of play because they clarified, a lot of things about, that got leaked or, they spoke about gameplay mechanics and people got really, really hyped for the game. But once 12 o'clock hit this morning, legit, my game loaded up, but what I did was I pressed the PS button and I looked to see how much people was playing. It was like 110 people, 12 a.m. at night playing on my friends' The Last of Us, part 2, man. So looking at that was great. I wasn't really trying to dive into Twitter and look at everybody's pictures. I was posting up pictures. I was like, all right, guys, I'm not going to post too much, but all right, I'm done. Okay, this is the last match. Get back to the game. It was cool to see that stuff as well, man. But that's it. Everybody pretty much, as far as when it comes to gameplay, story, I think people's gonna, have difference of opinions there. But when it comes to the gameplay, the mechanics,
yes,
I think everybody's on the same page as far as it is just way, way much better. In the first game, they pretty much improve everything like we had complaints about the first game. And when it comes to
listen,
gameplay,
Jay, I gotta say this much. What you're saying, and I don't want to interrupt, I want you to actually go further into your description, but I have to stop you right there. When you actually look at the when you're creating or crafting that new menu screen that pops up, if you've been playing The Last of Us as much as I have, the original, to see that new clear, beautiful menu pop up, and you know what I mean? Everything is just so 2020, where I've been playing The Last of Us from 2013, right? And let's
fluid.
Right, exactly. And let's not forget the remastered that we've all been playing, as well as Naughty Dog redid the remaster. That's fine. It's still, in essence, a PS3 game we've been playing this entire generation. So this is a massive jump forward as we are about to enter next generation. So you know what I mean? It's even the small details, not just the amazing art, and not just the character models, and not just the writing, and not just to this, and not just to that. It's the small things that I'm also appreciating going from that great remaster that was in 2014, I believe, that came out. And now here we are 6 years later from that, and 7 years later from the original coming out on PS3. It's just, it's miraculous at how much has changed and how much they were able to do with older technology. Isn't that something?
Yeah, crafting is much, much better. And even with the crafting of weapons, I don't know how far you guys got as far as like, shooting your guns at and stuff like that. Because going in, I'm thinking like it's going to be the same type of ordeal with The Last of Us with a remaster in the older game. And I'm like, even the shooting, feels way different. It feels much better.
They tweaked it. Yeah,
man, it feels. And now like you could tell like, okay, this gun really has like a heavy recoil. Like you feel the recoil. Like when you shoot a gun, it just pops. Ellie pops back a little bit. It is really well done, well crafted, man. And like Knox said, you instantly feel the differences with this game, as you should. 7 years in the making, it should be much better. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I think everybody, that's one thing that I feel like people won't complain about with this game, the in-game mechanics, the stuff that Ellie can do or other characters that you play can do. It just feels really, really good, really dynamic as far as level building. It's not just like used to do things no more. You could do things like a little bit proning, more stealth options is better. You know, like I remember reading Greg Miller or watching Greg Miller, right? And he said he compared it to Metal Gear Solid. And I was like, what is this guy talking about? Metal Gear Solid, The Last of Us. Right. But now when I played it, I was like, oh, okay, I get what you're saying a little bit here with the stealth. Yes. You know, it does have that appeal. Metal Gear Solid.
Well, answer me this, Jay. I'm only about 2.5, 3 hours in, and this is no. By the way, this is no spoiler episode, guys. We're not giving away anything. But I'm just curious myself personally. I've been able. Maybe it's because the last 2 times I played The Last of Us, I played on Grounded and I played on Survivor. Right, the last 2 playthroughs. So a lot of it is stealth play. I got to be honest with you. I'm only 2.5, 3 hours in. Will things change for me in the fact right now I've killed almost everybody except for one enemy stealth? Will that change?
Oh yeah, it's definitely like
it gets more intense and more strategic.
I tell you, man, the enemy AI is they ramped that thing up to 100 on this game.
It's no pushover like the first one.
They will flank you. Like really not just the typical enemy AI that's let's run over. No, they're sneaking over there. You see them like, this guy is really sneaking. And they're coordinated. Yep. Yeah, they're coordinated, man. So yeah, you're definitely gonna stealth is definitely like the strongest option. Mm-hmm. You know, you're gonna be in some gunfights too, man. It's gonna. No,
I'm glad you said that because, like I said, I've only about 2.5 hours in. A lot, and we're gonna get into it too. I want to say shout out real quick to the super chat. Elemental PO's here. He says, "Happy Great Friday, Forte." I think a lot of fans are going to return The Last of Us 2 for many reasons. Have you ever seen a game receive a lot of returns before? Forte, hold on to that one. I'm going to come to you next on that, actually. Sin Vendetta, the great Sin Vendetta here. He says, Forte, I want to throw money at you to pre-order a PS5 and Series X. Any updates? My God, he wants a hot tip there. So he's looking for a tip from Forte. I don't think you're going to get anything out of him because I've already tried. Elemental Pito says, once you get past the first 3 hours, you will realize why the media isn't allowed to talk or show more of the gamer story. The media can only talk about the first 3 hours, says Elemental Pio. Now, in fairness with Elemental Pio, me and him had a side conversation, and it was basically, I don't think the first one was really his bag. He didn't really dig the first one very much, which is fine, by the way. If you don't like it, you don't like it, and that's just the way it is. But
actually, he said on Twitter that he really liked the first one.
Well, I talked to him privately. He said it was okay. He didn't say he didn't like it. He just said it was okay. And I think if you're coming into it with an okay, maybe the way that the writing goes, Xbot, maybe it will hit him the wrong way, and I can respect that.
Well, brother, when it comes down to it, first off, everybody who spoke already, you guys are enjoying the game. That's great because you spent your money on it. You know what I'm saying? Right. You need to get what's worth. What was interesting to me, because me, I don't have a PS4. So I went out there in the world of Twitter, and I started seeing people's comments, and I went beyond the community that we're in, because I think we can all agree we love our gaming community on Twitter, but it's a really small part of the entire gaming community. And dude, I've seen a lot of hardcore The Last of Us 1 fans that are really not digging the second one, man. So there's a lot of mixed bag out there when it comes to this game, bro.
Well, and that's fair, but here's the thing I want to kind of make a point. I mean, let me tell you something. There's probably, no, that's not true. I'm not going to say that because Crap actually has a tattoo on his arm. I was going to say there's nobody bigger fan of Gears 1, 2, and 3 than me, but when it came to it, 4 and 5 completely missed the mark for me. And I mean, that's just myself personally. I know a lot of people, right? There's a lot of people that agree with me. There's a lot of people that disagree with me.
100% on that one, though.
Right? So, the
thing is the newer ones, there's a significant drop-off from the scores and things like that. From the older one, the original 3 are untouched. They're
from the epic ones. From the epic ones. Once the coalition got their hands on it, it turns to garbage.
So and that's to be expected with it going to a different developer. They're still quality games. They're just not, the stories, in my opinion, aren't as good, and the characters aren't as good. But with this game, I just wanted to just point out real quick, it's another one of those things that Sony developers have a real knack of, is just grabbing you right away with the game, and literally right away, and then you're like, oh shit, because that's what happened again, and that happened to me with God of War as well. And I wanted to point out a couple of things that I noticed. The little details that this developer put in,
Yes.
Phenomenon,
Yes.
right? Like,
Yes.
and I'll
That's
give you
all
example. I'll give you example. Like when you're at first and you're on you're Joel or whatever. I'm not giving away any spoilers. You know, you're Joel. You come across like some light that shines in through a tree. The dude raises his arm to block the sunlight.
Yes, I saw that.
Right?
Yes,
Like I
yes.
never seen anything like that. Absolutely phenomenal. You know, I saw a situation where there's glass shards on the ground. You can see the reflections in the different shards. Like this is stuff that you just have never ever seen before in a game. And again, that comes down to dedication and crunch. And you can just tell because I've been seeing tweets from that studio all day. They just love working there. That it's hard and they probably hate that last couple month crunch. But then it's worth it when you know it's worth it at the end of the day when you see that the results. Incredible.
They even put little emotional, little facial tweaks and little things that you just feed on. You just see it and it registers with you. You know what I mean? Little things like that, little emphasis like that. That is what matters. That is what makes a game great. The presentation, the gameplay, the acting, the immersion level. And yes, for people that are going to say that when he walks in the snow, it sometimes doesn't leave tracks. It sometimes doesn't. And you it and you notice things like that because they go through such great lengths to keep you invested into the game, to keep you, they don't want to break that immersion. So when you notice that it's going to leave a little snow trail, you're like, oh shit, I peeped that only because everything else is so fantastic.
You know what?
Notice all little things.
You might like get my thoughts on it real quick because I got to dip in a few minutes.
Go ahead,
hit it, big man.
So okay, so all right, this game right here, no spoilers or anything of that nature. The first 4 hours are definitely gonna leave you though, with a mixed bag of like emotions. You're gonna feel so many emotions, like that's for sure. The one thing I'll say that's a big update from the first one is the tone. You know, this one feels like they literally. How do I put this? The first one had like a light tone to it, right? Despite having horror elements, this one is more like anything can happen. It's like there's like the sense of unease everywhere you go. It's like a sense of unease, like a tense feeling. There was this one scene in the game where I was thinking of Days Gone, and Barry know what I'm talking about, but I literally had Days Gone vibes.
Wow.
Like in terms of the intensity and how well it was like produced. And honestly, this game just shows the importance of first-party studios. It shows, you need that talent at the end of the day to really push that hardware. And so what they do with the next one, that's if we're going to get another one, hard to really say. It really is hard to say, but Naughty Dog needs to be commended on what they have done here in terms of just their storytelling and overall their character animations and everything. Like you would think this is a next gen game completely, like running on PS5 or something. That's how different it looks and how it feels.
Absolutely.
And it's that good.
And I want to say something big, because you kind of left an amazing like volleyball up in there, and I want to spike it down because myself personally, you guys know that I'm a big fan of Walking Dead. I like all of that post-apocalyptic world. Of course, if it happens to have zombies or some sort of a plague existence with mankind, I kind of feel like that even lures me in more. And, I got to be honest with you, the first, and again, I'm only about 2.5 hours in, so I can't wait to feel these emotions that people keep talking about. As soon as the show's over, I will be getting right back into it and playing it in depth throughout into the morning. But my point is that like I sat there and what Crap's talking about, what Bit's talking about, what Knox is talking about, what Jay just talked about is one thing about the game that's really resonated with me is this is something where I am emotionally attached to these characters. I'm not only the characters, but I'm also emotionally attached to that world. And maybe it's because I beat the original 5 times. Maybe it's because I played 240 matches of the multi. I feel emotionally attached. So when you're seeing these characters and when people say facial animations, take those facial animations and shove them. No, you don't understand. That's Naughty Dog actually taking the tools that they have and immersing you into this story so that you can feel the pain, the agony, the discomfort, maybe the good times, a lot of the bad times that are going on. Yep. And I'll say this much, this is no spoiler at all. This is the first 15 minutes. When you're just walking through the village, okay, when you're walking through the town, you can sense that people are trying to move on, but there's still a level of discomfort in them. And this is something that's not said. It's on the faces. It's on the actions of the NPCs.
It's really in the added. It's like in the body language
body
sells
language,
it all too,
yes.
and they do a real good job of doing this too, and showcasing that.
The
Like everybody
nonverbal,
shudders.
yes, the nonverbal cues are outstanding in this game. They really land. They really do land.
They don't want to say it. They don't want to break peace. They don't want to add fear to the communities or whatnot. And it's like you can see it. People were shaking. Like a lot of people are on edge, especially in the bar part of that beginning.
The bar,
like,
exactly.
You can see,
exactly.
Yeah, people are on edge. It's like, dog, this is really what it's next level stuff. What they've were able to do.
Hey, Mooch, real quick, I just kind of wanted to point out that because somebody had mentioned that it was look next gen. Digital Foundry even said that. They were like, hey, this is like next gen, next level stuff with the animations, the level of detail and stuff like that. It's such a good looking game that I find myself taking pictures and using photo mode I'm like, oh, here's a cool spot. Let me take a picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've played the game 5 hours, but I'm probably only 3 hours in.
Right.
You know,
crap.
You know, it's crazy too. Crap.
And
a lot of people like to talk about the graphical stuff, which is great.
Yeah.
But the sound also adds towards that. Like,
absolutely.
Somebody out
and
you hear that person like choking, and you stab somebody in the neck, and you hear the knife going in somebody. Oh my God, you hear things. He's like, ooh, it just adds to the.
I also want to say that
they became cliche in the first one, right? In terms of the sound. I don't mean to cut you off, but they became cliche in the first one in terms of the sound. This game right here completely reinvents that and makes it more terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what the word would be for. It's like maybe the aura, like you just have this dread walking around that something could pop out at any damn time, and like you literally walk around that the whole time you're playing the game, right? Like you just you just kind of, should I crouch? Like I crouch everywhere,
because they kind of built that up in the beginning when you play as that that female character and you're running through the forest. If you guys you kind of get that from there, because now when you
out of nowhere, I was like, "Damn, jump scares!"
When we got to that part in the game, Jay, that you're talking about, I was like Smokey in Debo's chicken coop. I was literally like freaking out left and right. And a lot of people might not get that Friday reference, but I gotta be honest with you, right? I was literally like tripping out. I was like, dude, because they were jumping off the cliffs and jumping at me, and I was like, damn, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, what's going on here?
It's a lot. It's like, what's going on?
What is happening? Let me say,
they bait you in. You think you can stealth it? It's like four runners or come out on the right side. Okay, I guess I gotta run. Then you see like another 12 on the left, and I'm like, holy shit, they're everywhere. Where do I go? And it's intense.
It really is.
They've done a good job, and you know what? I could see them doing. Somebody had mentioned this in my feed, so I don't want to take the credit for saying this, but I could imagine that there might be some kind of standalone game or follow up to this game that'll come out on PS5, sort of like the Left Behind one did. That DLC, I could imagine them doing something like that.
Yes,
within a year or so of the PS5 release, and I think that would go over extremely well. Actually,
I'd welcome that with open arms.
I would like that. I'm sure people probably were expecting me to go on or some rant about how the exclusives are better than Xbox. Like, honestly, Naughty Dog deserves better than to be compared to Xbox or anybody, to be honest with you. So I wanted to keep it real. Their game is just phenomenal to draw you in. They did a fantastic job with all that kind of stuff, like the ambiance, everything, that the sound in particular as well. Great. If you have a sound bar or headset, use it. They just done a real good. Also, the clunkiness. Like, if you guys remember when I played the first one, I wasn't a big fan. Some of the clunkiness and stuff was there with that. They fixed that in this one, and so it's much better in my opinion. And again, I'm
smoother.
It's just much smoother.
Even the friendly AI movement is much better too.
Yeah.
First one, the AI will always collide with you. Sometimes, like, get the hell out of the way. But they're much
just
better
walk or just stand up and casually walk away. They don't do that. They're like legit.
The enemy AI is much smarter too. Like, it's creepy is the best way that I can put it. It's very creepy. And so like I tell people, you got to experience this for yourself. It's one of those events. It's this is like, I've seen pictures of lines, and people are waiting in line to get the game. People are picking it up. It's doing great. I'm glad to see that.
Right? It's good to see that back.
It is. It's like almost a bit of normal, I guess, like for gamers, to kind of see that. Like, that makes me kind of happy. This game is like I remember the first one when I was playing it. It was just like you're constantly on the run kind of feeling, and this one so far, it's like there's life, there's a little bit of hope, and then there's a lot of emotions in that first few hours, but it's like there's still that underlying sense of hope or whatever. So I think they did a really good job with that, and I can't wait to get back in it.
Yep, and let me take care of the super chat here. Shout out to Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. He says, The Last of Us Part 2, Game of the Year, Game of the Generation, says Enrique. Appreciate that super chat, buddy. Let me just go through here. I missed quite a few. Marty Bison says, C-Bot, I think he's reporting to xBot. I don't know what he's going for there, buddy. But he says, C-Bot got his fans bombing The Last of Us 2 reviews. That's not how xBot works, my friend. But Marty Bison, shout out to Marty Bison. Great to have Marty here. Jessica Pham.
He shows for Battletoads. He might be doing it.
It's true. It could be. Jessica, shout out to the great Jessica Pham. Jessica, always so gracious to the channel. Thank you so much. She says, playing The Last of Us 2 while listening to this podcast. Does life get any better, Jessica? I don't think so, personally. Let me just say,
somebody got to teach Enrique the alphabet, man. He got my letter wrong.
That wasn't Enrique. That was Marty Bison.
Oh, Marty. Come on,
Marty. Come on, Marty.
Marty, come on, bro.
Great Scott. Listen.
Hey, Mooch, thanks a lot for the invite, man. Appreciate it.
Great to have you, buddy. And in case you hear the show a little bit later and you're like, I got to comment on that, just jump in, buddy. You're always welcome.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate it. You guys be blessed. I'll be good.
Thank you, Bit. And then Glorious War says, greatest motivation to finish a game in The Last of Us 2. Awesome. Bro. Appreciate that, Bit. Thank you, brother. And I've neglected these super chats for way too long. Elemental PO says, you guys talk a lot about how gorgeous the game is, which it is, but the uneven snail pace and poorly structured story killed the potential for a great game. The writing falls apart once you get halfway. Now,
that's subjective, bro.
It is, but let me say this much. Elemental PO, well, Jay, let me give you guys, now, an Elemental PO, please tell me if I'm wrong, but you put it on Twitter. He didn't play the game. He watched somebody play through on YouTube.
Then you cannot offer an opinion. Then you can't offer an opinion.
Well, he can have an opinion, but I think it's
no. He has to have an opinion on the piece itself. He cannot have an opinion on the game because he hasn't experienced it. He's just visualizing it through someone else's experience.
That's it. You're visualizing it through somebody else's eye, somebody else's experience. And don't get me wrong.
Mooch, you can't say that, Mooch, because that's like watching somebody driving a car. You say, "Oh man, that car most likely feels good." No, you got to actually drive the car yourself.
Yeah, you got to drive the car.
This is an interactive medium. This is not something where you can just watch. You know what I mean?
I think what Jay's saying is, don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, look, I'm 6 hours into the story, right?
Right.
And I'm enjoying the story. Like, yo, it there's a gut punch in there, but at the end of the day, it's well crafted. The story is well written. You know what I mean? Not just the cinematics or not just the cut scenes, but even the dialogue between the gameplay.
Yes, the content is excellent.
And let me just say, there is something to what Jay's saying. In Elemental PO, I just want to reiterate what Jay's saying. In any game, not just this game, but in any game, there's time, even Bloodborne, right? There's times I get done with an intense fight. Like, I'm literally, and if you guys watched my last stream, yes, Jay, right? I was like, holy shit! When I finally beat the guy, I was like, yes! Yeah, right? But then it went into a cutscene, and I put the controller down, and I sit back, and I'm still shaking from the fight, right? And this is for a lot of different games. And what ends up happening is you're like, you welcome that story. First of all, it gives your body a chance to actually come down off that high of that fight you just had, right? And then it's like you just get there and it ropes you in a different way. That's, I think, what they're saying, Elemental PO, which I do respect your opinion. He's an outstanding gamer, and I've known him for many years. But I think you need to experience it. And I know that you watched it all, which I wish you didn't. I wish you didn't do that. I wish you played it.
I mean, if you don't like something, are you going to watch 20 hours worth? I think that's probably, in a nutshell, there was something compelling enough for him to keep watching it. Right? If I'm watching something and it's 20 hours and I don't like it, I'm not watching 20 hours. I can tell you that much.
That's true. This is true.
I'll just say this: like, it's not the dunk on Elemental PO hour, but I'm just saying.
No. Elemental PO is very respected.
There's plenty of things that I'll like. If I'm not sure about something, I'll go and watch. Right, and I'll say, okay, would I kind of like this type of thing? Right, but that's not kind of what we're talking about here. Like, Elemental PO, you gave a review score.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of odd. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of odd to look at something and go, I'm going to go ahead and rate it. It's different than having something to have a basis of comparison to say, well, I kind of watched it. I'm not really feeling it. It's not really for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a whole different thing of saying, but you're kind of in the chat going in on this game as if you had hands on it.
Yes.
Right. It's like you're doing a whole lot of extra to try to downplay.
Yeah, and there was also the review bombing that was going on, like literally the minute that game went live, like the user scores were hit with like zeros and stuff, and a lot of them like you can just spend time looking, and it's like, you know, fanboy stuff. You know, somebody like gave a bunch of Xbox games 10s and gave The Last of Us 2 a 0. You know, like it doesn't make sense. Like how you rate games, in my opinion anyway, is a 0 or a 1 is a game that's unplayable. You know, like there's bugs, there's glitches, it's unplayable.
Yeah.
You know, even if you don't like the story in that game, it's beautiful, it's playable, it's, you know what I'm saying? You still would give it a 7 and 8, you know, even if you didn't like the story. So I don't like, you know, that stuff is kind of nonsense to me. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think it's, you know, another testament that exclusives matter. And this is a great, again, how did they do it? That's what I want to know. Like, how the hell did they get that?
Same thing that they did with The Last of Us 1 coming out at the end of the PS3 era. Like they, you know, when it comes down to it, at the end of the generation, 343 did it with Halo 4. Nobody thought Halo 4 should be running on a 360. It's actually pretty genius to think about it. It's like, well, yeah, we're going to work on it going through. It's going to come out like closer to the end of the generation, because, you know, we got a pretty good idea of what the hardware is and what we can do.
And that's what that's what you're supposed to do as a first party studio, as a AAA first party. That's what you're supposed to do. Take them meticulous. Yeah. Yes. Come out at the end of the generation hot though. They had everything else to cover the rest of the generation, bot. We're talking about Horizon, we're talking about Spider-Man, we're talking about Jack and Dax.
Launch lineups, first party launch lineups are gonna really say where I go in terms of the.
There were 7 exclusive titles mentioned in this past PlayStation you know press release.
That's 9. Knox 9.
Oh, my bad. I wasn't really paying that much attention. 9, cool. 7 was a lot. 9 just is like cha-ting, icing on the cake. You can't compare it, bro. This is the platform that gives the consumer what they want. Period. At least me, a consumer like me. If I was looking for arcade games for $10 a month, Xbox would be the place. I don't need the world's most optional doorstop, most powerful optional doorstop. Because right now, you see The Last of Us running on a Pro, and you're like, what the fuck did I buy an X for? Like seriously, Red Dead is awesomely impressive on the X. It is. It still can't fuck with The Last of Us 2.
Yeah. It can't. Well, what's funny was because I've been posting a lot of screenshots, nothing spoilery, just like scenery. And the first thing I get is like the response is Xbox fans posting the Red Dead 2 pictures from the X. And it's like, man, come on. Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't want to like drag all those people, but it's like, you know,
now Red Dead is phenomenal, but it's not exclusive. But it's not exclusive. Yeah. It's not Microsoft executing and utilizing the full power of that console. What'd you put it out for? For what? What do I need the power for if you're not going to utilize it? If you're not going to utilize it.
And I'm not saying that nobody that has a PlayStation that played the first one like doesn't necessarily like this one as well. Like, you know, I'm sure there is some of that. It's like I liked Halo 4, but Halo 5 story was complete garbage. So I can understand how someone could be like that, and I haven't gone far enough in to really kind of say one, but I'm just saying from my perspective right now, the story is even more engrossing and engaging in this one than the first one. The first one didn't, it dragged me in right away, and then I kind of lost it somewhere with, you know, help her across this, and, you know, I kept helping her across, you know, it was like very repetitive and very kind of, you know.
They got rid of the crates too, crap. They got rid of the crates.
Yeah. So you know, like I like what they were able to do. That studio, 5. Think about this. Okay, so over the last 10 years, they've done 5 90+ rated games.
Wow.
AAA games. Yeah. That's a very incredible feat, and that's why, you know, Sony really don't really have much to fear in that department, because they've got these studios. They can actually pump out these games at an incredible rate. And I mean, look at Insomniac. They're going to have 2 first-party exclusives out in the first year of the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
You know, they're already utilizing ray tracing and things like that. Like, it's a very good time if you're a PlayStation fan looking forward to the PlayStation 5.
I gotta say, crap,
get excited because they're showing up. Like, it's very exciting to be actually talking about the games that are coming. Look,
right,
Ratchet and Clank might get shit or whatever because it's quote unquote cartoon. It actually looks more like a Pixar movie than anything. Even better than the movie it did. But the tech and stuff involved with that was incredibly appealing. You know, the Spider-Man stuff. They're saying that's on scope with what was that Uncharted game, which it took me 20. It took me 20 hours to beat that.
So most people took between 5 to 8.5.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like for me, and you got to figure there's going to be. Here's the thing. I read in the thing. And the article's like the article said between 5 and 10 hours, right? Then Insomniac says we haven't given a time yet. We just said it's similar in scope to this, the Naughty Dog game.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is that article also said that the first Spider-Man game was beatable in 15 hours. I don't know what Spider-Man game they were talking about, because I didn't even do all the stuff, and I've probably spent 50 hours in that game, and I didn't do all the stuff. I'm not
running through that game. You might be able to.
They're wild. Yeah. They're probably skipping cutscenes. They're rushing through that thing.
Like I wouldn't. I said
Legacy.
Yeah,
well,
I said
you could beat it in 15 hours. Yeah, they're usually skipping cutscenes and shit.
I mean,
like
if you skip the
show. Get Resident Evil crap. People can beat Resident Evil in an hour and 30 minutes. Does that give that game an hour and 30 minutes? No.
Dude, it was like also with like Quantum Break, right? If you skip the movie, you could beat that in like 3.5, 4 hours. Yes. Okay. It's like there's a lot of games like that, but it's like if you really want to sit back and enjoy the game, it does. And I got a feeling with the amount of side quests and stuff that they'll add in, that this is going to be like a 15-hour game all day, so I'm good with that. And it'll probably be like a $39 game. I think it's.
He has got a feeling.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't they? That seems like a very good price. I don't. Ratchet and Clank, the last one they did was also a $39 game.
Dude, Ratchet and Clank, on my PS4 was one of my favorite games to play.
Absolutely.
I don't think this game is the new Ratchet and Clank is gonna be $30 though, because remember that one was like a reboot. This one is from the ground up.
They needed to reboot, because if you were a fan of the series on the PS3, they had so many come out, you had no idea where you left off. Yeah, it was this because they did 4 games or something, and they were all from the same series. Like I had no idea.
They wanted to line up with the movie. They wanted to line up with the movie, so they changed some of the story aspects too.
Yeah, so I was glad when they did the like technical reboot or whatever, because then you could get back into the game or whatever. It's like it's the same thing that they tried doing with Gears, right? Try to reboot it a little bit, and Halo, they're going to try to reboot it a little bit. So like if you hear Halo 6, you might not be as apt to buy that, right? Because you're like, I didn't play any of the other ones. Now they're getting Halo Infinite. Like they're just getting these little subtitles and things like that under there instead of like a number. I kind of like that, but it's like, because it can be daunting to want to jump into a game or a series that, that's been around for a long time. Yeah. Like that. So I'm glad that they're actually doing that.
Comes out, it's going to be Spider-Man 2. I can almost guarantee that, man.
Quick question for you guys about Last of Us, right? Because this is one of my dislikes about the game. That you can't, they have all these options, right? But you can't turn off the film grain. I haven't found it yet. You can't turn off the film grain with the game. How you guys feel about the film grain?
I gotta be honest with you, I'm glad you asked that, Jay. I honestly have never had an issue with that. I can see where it's bothering you, but it's never really affected my.
I mean, it's not like bothering me, but I would just like the option to turn it off.
I know you can shut it off.
It does bother people. So
you can shut it off in photo mode. Which doesn't really help you much during the game. But I mean, real quick, let me do a quick shout out to the Super Chat Basement Radio Arcade Podcast, which, this is what I was only trying to interrupt you because he said something that really kind of goes in with what you're saying.
It's all good. Yeah.
He says Xbox needs quality first-party titles like The Last of Us 2. No one talks about Xbox first-party the way the panel is discussing The Last of Us 2 right now. Xbox needs Game of the Year and Game of the Gen titles. Quality bangers over back compat is what I believe he's trying to say there.
Yeah. I 100% agree. It's like I hope that one day there's an Xbox game that just smacks you in the face with quality like that did. You know what I mean? Like I just hope that they get there one day. Maybe it'll be July and they'll show us that. Maybe it'll be the Fable game or whatever the initiative's working on. But I hope one day they can give people that experience where people are just talking like the way they are The Last of Us, right? Like that's not a multi-plat, folks, but yet millions and millions of people are buying it and playing it and talking about it. And I just really hope to see that one day from Xbox as well.
Okay, crap. So this was my question is that do you really think you're going to get something like as far as this quality on Xbox? Because their structure for right now is got to get their games onto Game Pass. Are they going to give their developers a time to craft something like The Last of Us 7 years?
I think you're reaching, brother.
I'm asking the question because
what
I'm seeing is that I'm seeing that they're going to pump out stuff.
They have multiple teams in each studio working on different things. Like I don't understand why you would reach that far and try to say, "Are you going to get anything of this quality?" Like we have July. They're going to be showing first party. Like I think people should be excited to see what they're going to have to show. And then, if you think the show is trash after that,
I think people need to be speculative because Microsoft you have to go, listen, you're as good as your last effort, bro. You're as good as your last effort. And Microsoft's last 6 efforts have been fruitless, bro. Nothing. So why would I expect different? It's messed up when you got to be like temper expectations, but with Microsoft, God damn it, it's become it's become even worse than that. It's like with Microsoft, it's like don't even have expectations at this point because they always shit the bed, bro.
Go ahead, Forte.
I don't. Oh, my bad, Forte. Go ahead.
No, I just got a question for you guys. So, why do people buy PlayStation?
Exclusives.
I would say exclusives. That would be my answer.
Okay, so why do people buy Xbox?
I usually buy that because of the exclusive, or I used to anyway, like Gears and Halo and Forza.
Let's excuse ourselves from it because we're the minority in it. Yes. Why do most people buy Xbox?
For me, it's exclusives as well. That's the reason I bought it.
I guess
you know why most people buy because of brand recognition. That's what most people buy, and with brand recognition, they're going to go to PlayStation or Nintendo before they go to Microsoft. I don't see the point. I don't see what you're trying to.
And that's the point. Is the fact that
it's brand recognition for the majority because
Xbox
we're the vocal minority. But
no, the biggest thing that people realize is Xbox. Yes, do they need to make something that's going to knock your socks off? They do, but that's mostly just for us. Let's be for real. For the majority of people, they are perfectly fine with just if they want to play on Xbox, they'll play. Want to play on PlayStation, they'll play. They don't really truly care.
No, but that word of mouth.
Word of mouth is what takes the system to 150 million.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, and that counts.
But this still goes back to the conversation that we act like 50 million ain't a lot. If 50 million is still a lot, 50 million people decided to buy it.
Wait a minute.
They had 89 million last gen.
Knox, let me ask Forte a question. Forte, let me just use the same because you've used this for 2 weeks now. I want to ask you a question. Do you think if you went and asked any of the Olympians, okay, the Olympians that make it out there and represent their country, okay, they are better than a lot of the people. But if they don't place in gold, silver, or bronze, they don't give a shit. And they're still my point. So when you say, don't you still think 50 million's a lot? When your competitors, Nintendo and Sony, are curb stomping that number.
Yep.
No, the answer to you and to investors and people who want to make more money is no, we need to make that money, not this money. And I'm sorry, even if you win bronze, ask the guy who won bronze, who's better than everybody else in his country, better than all the people he beat. But the 2 people in front of him, he's like, I want that medal.
Listen, Mooch,
that's the difference.
So let me ask you this. So
your competitor, real quick, your competitor is making twice as much as you are, and you made half less than the previous iteration of your hardware.
Right. Go ahead, Forte.
That's not a winning formula.
Go ahead, Forte.
This is just me being a realist in the situation. I just don't feel okay. So Xbox won. Well, they didn't even win last generation. They skated by and became the leader and winner just because of the games that they had on the system. The recognition that the system had. System had more recognition than
they had mind share. They won with mind share. PlayStation creeped up at the end, but they had the mind share. This was Microsoft's generation to rule, and they fucked it up.
See, look, I completely disagree with that because all the momentum flipped over towards the end of the generation when Microsoft literally took their feet off the gas for the last years of the generation.
Yeah.
They
ended the generation like they ended 360.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying.
That's literally what they always do. So I always, coming to this generation, yes, Microsoft stepped on they literally stepped in it and they never recovered until midway through the generation. I just look at this as a situation where these systems, no matter what, PlayStation's they're gonna be a market leader. Xbox only dominates in the territories that it normally dominates in until they get more of a worldwide appeal. Right now, PlayStation owns that. Nintendo owns that. They are recognized from from here to shiny sea from everywhere in this world.
That's right.
Where Xbox is more of a regional thing.
That's right.
That's the biggest thing that people don't realize. Why do you think the Cowboys are the most loved team in the world? They're the most loved and hated team in America because they literally have worldwide appeal versus teams that have regional appeal.
True.
That's what Microsoft is.
That's true.
So no matter what Microsoft does,
and Sony's the Yankees. They're just straight up love.
Exactly.
I'm a little confused here. I'm confused, Forte.
Go ahead, Jay.
Go, Jay.
I'm confused of what's the point of even mentioning that, because regardless of where they are in the market, what does that have to do with really?
Because there are people. Because there's people that's going to play and buy the system. Everybody has a different reason why they buy and play these systems. Like I always tell people, why are you buying what you're buying? Like throughout this whole generation, I hear people get upset about the mistakes that Microsoft gave and didn't give them. I'm thinking like, well, why did we buy 5 and 6 Xboxes this generation if you didn't get what you wanted midway through the generation? If you felt
they were making a lot of promises.
Look,
that's a fact, crap. That's a fact.
Giving them chances.
Hold on. Go ahead, Forte.
Every company makes a bunch of promises. That's what they do. No company doesn't go up there and give you exactly what the whole plan for the whole generation is going to be.
Forte, I've never seen a company. I've never seen a company fail to deliver so bad in one generation. Like,
so what was they supposed to deliver to you? What were they supposed to deliver to you that you didn't get?
AAA exclusives, new AAA exclusives,
When did they have when did they have the studios to do that?
When did they have?
How long was Crackdown 3
and 4?
You forget. Hey, I'm a connoisseur of gaming. They never had a bunch of studios. You know what they did? They had a pocketbook where they could go buy studios. So that stopped suddenly. There was no studios they could have went and bought games from, or did they just up and quit 2 years in preparation for a new generation?
And that's what I'm talking about.
That's fucking over the consumer.
People's expectations didn't change when they changed. Microsoft changed a long time ago, back in 2013. They had a completely different vision for what they wanted that system to be. Not until 2014, 2015, once they started realizing, like, dude, we need to get some studios and we need to start making our own content because they already lost all of the big.
You're gonna tell me they didn't know that before then, Forte?
Dude, it doesn't matter what they knew, but it doesn't.
Hold on one second.
Matter. Listen, it doesn't matter.
They knew that before that, and I'm gonna tell you one thing. I bet you ain't nobody walking into your store saying, "Hey, you know what? What console offers me services that I can pay for to subscribe to?" Nobody's going to the store asking for that shit, right? So why the hell is Microsoft marketing that? No, they won't be. Dude,
no, they won't be.
I like this dude's passion, man.
That shit is gonna be dead, bro. That's gonna be dead. That subscription service bullshit, it's gonna be dead, my dude. Don't nobody want that. Sony's already showing you don't nobody want that. That's why people crying. That's why people crying.
Sony's doing it too, man.
Of course, Sony's gonna do it. Not on the level that Microsoft is gonna do it.
Well, there's levels to doing it. Hold on, guys. Let me just.
Exactly.
I wanna. Hold on, guys. Knox. I want to give you the mic back, but I'm so far behind in the super chats. I want to keep up. I'm like 25 minutes back in super chats. Hold on one second. Shut up. That's all right. That's my fault. Marty Bison says he just wanted to let everybody know that GameStop. And I think that this is something that Gaming Forte just said. He said my GameStop was sold out of The Last of Us 2, which I thought that's unbelievable, to be honest with you.
Apparently it sold out on Amazon too. Like how?
How many of those Gears 5 sold out?
Dude, they're selling them for $5 right now everywhere.
I know, right? And what was that, like 3 months ago? Get the fuck out! This is fucking insane.
Shout out to Dipsy.
The writers on the wall, bro.
Dipsy,
hey, somebody. I heard somewhere that Game Pass helps sell more copies though.
I thought so anyway. Crap.
But you know the funny.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on, guys. I'm still. I went from 25 minutes back to 23 minutes back. Hold on, guys. I still got some more here. Dipsy, he says cheapest place to buy a PS4 new. He's asking now. That'll be a question for Forte. May know that in a second. Give me 1 second. Shout out to Kerry Howard who says Last of Us 2, a movie you're supposed to feel emotions towards. Marty Bison comes back and says to XBot, I still love you, XBot. So XBot, there's still a lot of love in the room for you. I just want you to know that.
Man, I got nothing but love for you too, Marty. Just don't get my letter wrong, man. That's all I'm saying.
That's all he's asking.
Don't get my letter wrong.
All right. And then shout out to Carlos Crespin. Great to have Carlos back in the chat. He says the PS4 has no business running these stunning games. Sony knows how to do more with less. Power will be a non-issue next gen. Ghost of New Orleans says Xbox have newer... Oh, pardon me, I can't read these things. They're so far away. Xbox has never put out a new game like, I believe he's saying, The Last of Us 2's level. Eric comes out and says that he's go ahead and he's challenging the Cowboys reference and saying Raiders are more worldwide known. Raider Nation, I'm not sure about that.
Lord.
Right? And then
I don't know about that.
Last but not least, I do want to say that shout out to Basement Radio Arcade Podcast, who says Forte, no one is saying 50 million isn't a lot, but the reality is a delta in quality exists in first party and second and third party exclusives. Those exclusives create mindshare. Microsoft could get there. I kind of agree with Enrique on that one. That's not bad. Then Marty Bison came back again. Oh no, it's Gamer O'Malley says Game Pass subs are free on Nestle's candy here in the EU. So there you go. Apparently.
Hey, I just want to say something too. Like I feel like even though it's not my bag, I think that Hellblade 2 game will get critical raves as well, and then the Xbox fans will love Metacritic again. Hey, look for this thing up out in the sky for an hour. Like that's boring. So that's not my thing unless they change that game completely around. But people ask me, what do I expect from the July event? I expect their July event to actually be better than what we saw from Sony's, and then Sony will come back with something that probably tops that. And the reason why I say that, bear with me, is Microsoft gave up in 2015, so they've had 5+ years to get ready for this event. If you can't get ready for this event with 5+ years waiting time, then there's some kind of problem. So I'm expecting them to go all out, announce stuff that's 3-4 years away if they have to, and they're going to do that. They're going to do that. They're going to announce the whole kit and caboodle, the kitchen sink, Phil's left shoe, Phil's right shoe. They're going to everything they have. He's going to be up there huckstering it up. And that's exactly what they need to do, because there's such a quality difference, and people are at that point where they've been fooled an entire generation, and it's on Microsoft to give people a reason why to buy their next platform. Because you got hardcore people like me who buys every one who isn't sold on their new platform yet, and that's not good for them. That's not good.
Is why I say there's a quality difference is because you listen to what Microsoft is saying. They're saying that they're buying these studios up. They can put out these games. So for Game Pass, they got to have a quick turnaround for those games. You're not going to get a quality of detail like that where you get for The Last of Us 2 with that type of business model for your games.
Again, multiple teams within the studios working on different projects, from AAA to AA, all that good stuff, brother.
But they haven't shown that, and that's the thing. My thing is, what Crap is saying. What Crap is saying is a brilliant strategy. His brilliant strategy. You know what I mean? I don't give Microsoft that credit. They haven't earned that. Show and prove. I'm going into July looking like, yo, show me. I know what you got to do. I'm not going to talk about it. I know what you need to deliver for me. Yeah. Show me. But I wish that what Crap said that's the show they actually put forward. I hope so.
Okay, so they honestly have no choice, to be honest with you. Like, I know I've said that before, but
they haven't had a choice for the last 5 years, Crap, and they still fucking up.
Well, you know what, man? They've got a heavy defense force. What can I say? It's like, and no matter.
I get where Crap is coming from, though. I get where you're coming. You want these studios to come out with that stuff. Yeah, and I'm going into the July show to see what's going to happen there. But I'm with Knox as well, man. I'm like that bank lender. You come to me for a loan, I'm going to check your history. You got to show and prove to me, man. If you want this money, you want my money, Microsoft, you got to show and prove to me.
And listen, I think Halo is going to look great when they showed off. Obviously, I don't know if there's any credibility to 1,200 people working on that, but clearly they're thinking this is, I feel like, the most important Halo, the most important game that Microsoft's worked on in a long time. Yeah. They built a new engine for it. This could be something special, or it could be the thing that broke the straw that broke the camel's back, right? So it really kind of depends on that. And I think it's going to be a big showpiece in July. They're probably going to show 10 minutes or more of it, but they're going to have to bring the Fables, and they're going to show Forza. It's like, but I think I want to see new IP. If you go back to the Xbox One, between the reveal and the E3, they announced 4 new AAA IP. Mm-hmm. You have to at least announce that this time, at least. Okay, so whether it's, and they said they have third-party exclusive deals, so we'll have to see how that works out. I hope they do. I hope they bring the Fire, and I hope that they can kind of give me and a lot of other people a reason to get one aside from 12 T-flops, because I'd much rather talk about games than T-flops. So
Right.
I mean, that's kind of my opinion.
Let me do this, and I'm going to put the topic up. I want the panel to just ponder on it while I answer these 2 super chats. But there's rumors hinting right now that the Series X will be $400 and that the Lockhart, which will be revealed, rumored again, all rumor, guys, will be revealed at the July event, could be as low as $199, a $200 price tag. Just fester on
If
that
we've
for a
seen a
second.
Series X at 400 and a Lockhart at 200, I'll eat dog shit on live air. Okay, it's not going to happen.
Yo, guys,
And to anybody,
timestamp that, people,
and to have people claim that, you're setting yourselves up just like we did, Mooch. Remember when we thought that the One X was going to be $399 because Microsoft really wants to get back in this race and everything, right?
Yeah.
And then $499 took the wind out of the sails, right?
Yeah.
Like, the same thing's going to happen.
I said it back then, crap. The Xbox One X set the tone. It's going to be $499 minimum. Everything else going forward. I said that. Yeah. That's going to be the minimum. Everybody could forget about.
Well, I'll be honest with you, a $499 price tag.
You're going to let yourself down if you believe any $200 and $400 rumor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, the One X right now is still 300 plus, right? Like even on sale, discontinued, whatever, it's still $300. You're going to tell me they fit all that other crap in there for an extra 100 bones? No way. No way.
Right. Elemental Pio says, I'm playing, in air quotes, Detroit Become Human on Windows PC via Steam Store. I love options. Don't
Great
you?
game.
It is a great game. And I get what Elemental Pio is saying. Basement Radio Arcade Podcast comes back and says, Sony has 2 more exclusives. PS5 IPs being revealed at the August PS5 event. Eric and Forte know Sony has a big one in the bag that's going to be big, huge, great. So apparently that's something that's coming down the pipeline. But what do you guys think here? Do you think that listen, price, shout out to Gaming Forte. Forte says this all the time. Price plays a major role into any launch, especially. We found that out with what happened this generation, right? But here's my thing. If in fact, I don't think, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I've seen the rumors. I've seen what people say. I do think that the Xbox Series X will be $499. I think if it is $499, I think the digital edition of the PS5 will either be $449 or $399. I think Sony will take that hit. I think Microsoft doing it for $499 is Microsoft already taking a hit. If Microsoft did it for $399, it's literally them giving it away at that point. I mean, it's just because there is a lot of tech in the box.
That's about the way they make that a huge. I mean, that would just destroy the whole thing,
right?
Because I mean, but I don't think they're gonna do that. No, I think it's coming in at $499. To be honest with you, man. And I know that came from the insider, right? They said that they are prepared to go as low as $399, right?
Right.
But this person also said that it's going to be mic drop like moments. So the moment I saw that, because I've heard from a few other people that said it's supposed to be lit, it's supposed to be fire, and this and that. I said, okay. So going into this, I don't want to hear anything about temper expectation, right? Yes. And if we come out the other side of it, I don't want to hear anybody on the timeline saying, well, let's wait till the next.
Oh, man.
This is it. It's like Crap said. They got to go.
Yeah.
Not only that, but how do you mic drop knowing Sony's got another event after you, right? Like that doesn't make sense to me. Like clearly they're waiting for each other to announce the price, so they're going to go Sony would match that at $399. I guarantee it. Yeah. Right? Like I guarantee it. Like they would match that, and that's not really a mic drop moment. Like I just feel like what Microsoft, they went for that power, and I think that doesn't come cheap, and they have they have a good solid state drive, but it's totally, I feel like that's going to raise some expense there too.
I don't know.
Go ahead, Forte.
I don't know if Xbox drops that price to $399. I don't know if PlayStation drop that price to $9. They may. I don't see them dropping, but because if you're thinking about it, unless both those systems are the same price when it comes to that PS5, I see one of those systems at $399. I don't see the top end be $399 if they do that. I just don't. It's like the numbers just don't make sense even because the fact that if both those systems are the same and the only difference is a disk drive, there's no way that system is just $399. Right. One of them is going to have to be higher because then Microsoft, if they have this whole Lockhart situation, you got to think they have to have it. $100 is a decent price to have the difference between those two systems. Mm-hmm. A $200 difference is a major price. Like if you can say $399 and and $199, that's huge for Xbox. If they can say $499, $299, that's huge for Xbox too. If PlayStation says $499 and $399, that's pretty much where I think everything's going to sit at. I just don't. I think Xbox has more flexibility in the price than Sony does. But if Sony wants to take that hit, they can. I mean, all these are trillion-dollar companies; they can all. It's just one is I think willing to do that price probably than the other.
I think that.
Well, you can take the hit.
How do you stay a trillion-dollar company? You don't give stuff
Hey, listen,
away.
they either take the hit, they take the hit right away and stand a chance and win right away, or they wait. They like to do with the PS3 and force themselves to have to play catch up because letting Microsoft have a more powerful console for a lesser
you gotta
price.
remember, the games are the catch up. The games what caught PlayStation up. It was the price killed them, but the games caught them.
Exactly. Yeah, the game. That's what I thought Microsoft would do this gen. I was like, hey, this is going to work out good. We're going to get games.
You know, Gaming Forte, can I ask you a question? Because you're in the business. So, and you know, it's one thing if you said, okay, Mooch, you go do it, and I would try my best. But like, and I understand that price dictates. It so does. So let's just say for sake of conversation that the Lockhart does exist, A, and B, that it's going to be 200 or 250 or whatever, something like that. I still think that it's going to be an extremely hard sell for anybody at a brick and mortar that's trying to sell to a casual, because when they're going to say, well, there's the PS5. There's the Lockhart. Wow, Xbox is that much cheaper than the PS5? Well, it's not the same. It's a lower tier, but you'll be able to play next generation games at a lower tier. But does that mean it's actually next gen? Well, it's kind of a hybrid. You know, it's kind of a next gen. I'm not going way too far at all. The casual has no idea what we're talking about. So when the minute you tell them it's lower in technological capabilities than the PS5, I think you already lost the conversation.
Yeah, you don't. That's a conversation you don't even have unless the guest.
Why would you say that though?
Because why wouldn't you tell the customer the truth?
Because when the customer buys a weaker console thinking it's actually more powerful than what it
then they're gonna get pissed.
They're gonna get pissed off.
That's why you'd say it.
That's why Microsoft will be shooting themselves in the foot if they do that.
Let me ask you this: if they come into the store asking about an Xbox, though, aren't you going to tell them the versions of the Xbox? You're not just going to talk about one. You're going to talk about both, and then you're going to explain the difference between both. Now, if they come in, it's going to see. I agree with you on one thing, Mooch. If they're coming in and don't know what they want,
right? That's what I'm trying to say. That's what most casuals don't know.
That's a complete. Well, let's be for real. Most people that walk in the store, they know what system they want to go with. They have an idea where they want to go.
What company? Yes.
It just comes down to what version of that system they want. Like, it's hard for. I've done it before. There has been people that I told, like, get a PlayStation because they have better first-party games that you'll enjoy. I said, if you want better multiplayer and a better overall ecosystem when it comes to online, for the most part, get an Xbox. People have done that, but it really just comes down to what do you want? What is your experience? If you are a person that love PlayStation, then you're going to buy a PlayStation, and then we're just going to talk about PlayStation. So that's another reason why PlayStation dominates in sales, because the appeal that they have, the mind share they have, more people ask about PlayStation than.
But can I go one step further, Gaming Forte? So now let's say this person is either in the know or they're just asking a question. Now I walk in and I say, okay, I want an Xbox. I want a next generation Xbox. So I look and I say, right. So I say, well, you have two of them. So I want, I don't know. I'm asking you. You work there. I'm saying I don't know.
No, that's what I'll ask you. Which one do you want?
I want next generation console.
Do you want the one that gives the ability to run 4K frames per second, or are you good with 1080p 60 frames per second?
Well, the one I have at home does 4K sometimes, so why would I want the 1080p one?
Okay, well, you already answered your question.
So do I want to keep? Well, so do I want to keep the one? So do I want to keep the one? Do I want to keep the one I have at home, or do I want to upgrade?
Mooch, you came into the store because you want the new system.
Yeah, but you just told me one is lower. So now why is that one there?
Listen. See, you
I'm trying to just walk in. It's not semantics. I think that's a pretty average question.
Listen, Mooch. When you walk into a store, when you walk in, let's all be real about this.
Okay.
You walk into a store.
Yes.
90% of the time, you know what you want already. 90% of the time, you know what you want, especially if you're informed. You pretty much know what you want. It comes down to now a person can sway your opinion a little bit based on the things that they tell you. Like there may be some facts
That's
that
my
you
point.
didn't know
You could
about.
sway the. That's the thing, though. So, but Forte, that's what I'm trying to get at.
But that would come down to me telling you the truth. If you said that conversation to me, I would be like.
It's just really weird. It's an odd. Listen, I got news for you. You're the one that's got to do it. I think it's an odd situation that you're going to be in for the next 12 months.
I was at a GameStop once. I was at a GameStop once, and they were trying to explain to people that the PS4 had backwards compatibility. Right? Like, and this was years ago.
We're not gonna act like every GameStop associate.
Yeah.
Is the most
no, that's fine. No, it's
I was
fine.
at GameStop once, and somebody's like, was buying a 2 terabyte drive for their Xbox One. They're like, "This is the only drive you'll ever need." It was external. This will save all your games on it. Blah blah blah. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, well, I guess it really depends, but you know,
here's the thing.
like I just now started downloading like.
But hold on,
so let's have this conversation, Mooch. So you walk in my store and you ask me about the. I'll be like, okay, which one? Okay, yeah, cool. Which one are you looking for? We got 2 different SKUs. Which one are you looking for?
I'm looking for the one that's next generation. I want to upgrade.
All right, cool. So which one do you have? You got the.
I have the Xbox One X.
You got the X. So you already got 4K. You already basically playing in 4K right now.
That's right.
All right, cool. So what we want to do is this is the one you want to go with. We'll just say it's $499 for that system. Okay. That system's $499. First of all, bring me your old system so you can get it for a lot cheaper. You ain't gonna need it no more. So you're gonna probably get it for at least $200 cheaper than you normally would have. Mm-hmm. Second of all, the reason you want to go with this one is because all those games that you have will automatically play on this system. They're gonna get better graphical fidelity. You're gonna get a better overall look in the game.
Isn't that other one that's $200?
Listen,
a next generation console too?
He asked
That's what I'm gonna ask you.
Listen,
I know.
He asked about an Xbox. Asked about what he didn't ask about PlayStation. That's the thing you keep forgetting.
No, he's saying Xbox.
I'm saying Xbox. I'm saying, hey, isn't that other Xbox that's $200 and looks just like this one next gen too?
No, but does it do? Did you hear what I asked?
Can I get in on this real quick?
Go ahead, Xbox.
Hold on. Wait, hold on.
Okay,
did you hear what I asked him? I said, "Oh, so you already play at 4K, meaning you want to continue to play in 4K."
Yes,
we know that other system's not going to do it.
You don't know that. I don't know that. You can't assume that.
As of right, listen. As of right now,
I know that that's a next generation console.
As of right now,
they're better than the X, supposedly.
I can see Knox in the store right now.
That system is. Listen, Knox. As of right now, that system is being
Knox in there. It's ma'am.
1080p, 1440p machine. That's what it's being rumored to be right now.
Right.
1440p.
Right.
We can only
what
go
if
off
it's
of what
just
we
a
know.
discless? What if it's just a discless Series X?
What if it's discless? Exactly, baby. You don't want to. Maybe you want a disc drive.
Well, I'm just saying, like, what if?
What I'm saying is, I'm gonna ask if I see the same console that looks identical and it's supposed to be next gen, but there's 2 next gen variants. One is 500, the other one is 200. I'm gonna say, well, isn't that one next gen? Yes, I'm coming from the X, but isn't that one next gen? So it's better than my X.
Hey man, the SAT edition.
Well, hold on.
The SAT edition ain't even 200. There's no way they're gonna
listen.
Hold on.
Everybody, hold on.
I'm gonna ask for the console that can play Assassin's Creed Valhalla at 4K 30. Which one is that? Oh wait, it's fucking the 1X, the Series X, the Lockhart X, the whatever, PS4,
Listen, once a person
PS5.
tells you what. Listen, once a person tells you what they already have, you instantly go to the thing that's going to accommodate that the most. Mm-hmm. You don't go to the lower denominator, sir.
No.
Well, what's the difference? What if they're like? What's the difference?
I mean, yes, from a sales.
What's the difference between a PS5? What's the difference from a PS5?
Hold on, guys. One at a time, guys.
Listen, I'm not going to tell you to get an LED TV when you already got an OLED. I'm not going to tell you to do that because this LED might be the greatest TV ever, but if you already used to OLED, why am I going to tell you something other than the OLED?
All right, now Forte, check this out real quick. If you have the customer there saying they're gaming at 4K and you present them with the Series X and they're like, well, what's the deal with that? Like, $200, $300 system right there. I would just be like, well, that's an entry level. All right, you're going to get the no load times, but it's going to be a lower resolution than what you're used to right now. If you want to go with that, that's no problem as well. Your games are going to be able to be played on either one of those systems.
Excellent.
You know what?
Excellent sales pitch. God damn it, Bot, you killed
work.
it.
Hey, guess what? Xbox can come work for me.
That's what I'm talking about.
Xbox can come work for me right now. That is exactly
all you gotta say.
All right, well, let me ask this question. So, Forte, you made a great case. Xbox made his case. I made mine. Eric, let me ask you a question. Where are you in all of this? Where you guys, you've heard all of this, Eric. You've heard everything that's going on. You know what's happening. Like, do you think that the Xbox Lockhart would be a more of a I don't want to use the word confusing because everybody takes the word confusing and then runs with it. It's not confusing, but do you think it's Microsoft kind of like tripping over their feet with too many SKUs, or do you think it's something where it is something that may be hold on, or is it literally just like a Trojan horse, or where it's going to be an absolute it's going to be like the Wii. It'll be like the Wii from back in the day, you know, where it just kills at that price point.
The only time I thought it might have been confusing is when I thought that they would still have the Series S and the X on the shelf as well. But no, I mean, we've been here with like when the 360 had 2 SKUs and the PS4 PS3 had 2 SKUs. Like, you know, I think people will figure it out as long as they have someone, you know, confident.
But those were the same SKU. Those were the same console, just with different hard drive sizes, and one, I guess, without a hard drive. But you know, this is like. Yeah, this is like, I think, a little bit different. I guess we'll have to wait and see. You know,
well,
I'm excited to see
let me
how it plays out, though.
Yeah, let's say Showan in the chat. He says it's 2020. Everyone has Google in their pocket. Showan, the thing is, though, listen, I got news for you, man. I worked retail for a long time. I'm not gonna, you know, that's why I tip my cap to Forte, and I ask Forte, and I respect his answers, is because, you know, when you're dealing with the public, it's not as easy as, oh, it's just Google it. You know, it's just not, because I got news for you. The one thing that I agree with a lot of what Forte said, but the only thing that I don't necessarily agree with is when he's like, well, people come in and they have their mindset. I've recently walked into a car dealership and I wanted one particular model and I left buying a different one, right?
No,
and that doesn't. Different. Well, no, I mean that's
what happened.
Listen, ask a lot of the guys that are married, right? We walked into the jeweler and we had a budget, and then the dude took out a shinier one. We're like, I guess the missus would like that one a little more, right? So I mean, my point being is like, go ahead.
I didn't walk into a place and didn't plan on buying something, and the person convinced me to buy something. I mean, that happens all the time. When I say a person has their mindset, like maybe
she missed another super chat.
Explained it wrong.
Yeah, I got.
Maybe I explained it wrong. When it comes down, the way I was thinking about it is, a person walks through the door. If a person is just looking, they don't really go into a store to just look. Most of that stuff's done online. Once you walk into a store, you kind of have an idea of what you want already, but it still doesn't. It's still a chance that your mind can be changed, because you might not be 100% sold on it, but you have an idea of what you want.
And that's the thing. So maybe you're coming in looking at it and saying, I'm going to go ahead, I want to buy the Lockhart, right? So you're like, I'm walking in, I'm going to buy the Lockhart. All of a sudden you walk in, now you see the PS5's $399, and maybe the Xbox Series X might be $399 or $499, and you're like, well, what are those two? And you're like, well, those are more powerful. And you're like, geez, you know, it's the same thing with anything, whether it be a car engine, a ring for your fiance, whatever it may be. I don't care. Maybe you get an extra scoop of ice cream when you only thought you were going to get 2. You end up getting 4. My point being is that it always happens that way. So it's not as clear and cut. And let me just real quick, I'm going to say thank you, and I apologize to Slow-Mo Backslap. Slow-Mo put a super chat in, and it scrolled right through and past it. He said, Sony won't match Xbox at $399 because they still sell in more territories where Xbox doesn't provide a cheaper option. Xbox not a worldwide brand. Thank you, Slow-Mo, for that. I appreciate that.
The thing is, though, they're leading in America right now. Why would they want to all of a sudden fall behind like they did with PS3 360, right? Like, what people don't realize is the PS2 had something like 80%, 85% share here in North America, and that dropped significantly with the Wii and the 360. They lost almost all of that. And, you know, and they have, what, I think 5 or 6 million more sold here than Xbox Ones. So again, why would you want to lose that? This is like one of the bigger consumer outlets that buy video games. Why would you want to lose that? I don't think they would.
That had more to do with the fact that Microsoft came out a year earlier than they lost, because they ended up getting it back. I mean, the thing that people don't realize is when the system releases early, the people that are the people that are on the fence and don't want to wait for the next generation system or another next generation system, they're going to buy it no matter what. They're just going to say, hey, I'm going to buy this one, and then when the PS5 comes out or whatever comes out, I'm going to buy the next system. There's a lot of people that's going to do that. That's why I always say Microsoft is the one system that needs to release before the PlayStation 5 needs to release, because they need to get those fringe people that are on the fence, because those people are going to buy both. They're going to buy PlayStation no matter what. There's a good chance that they may never buy an Xbox if PlayStation comes out first, because then at that point, they're like, well, I already got the system I really want, so I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to play with this and not even rock the Xbox. But if Xbox comes out early, that puts people's feet to the fire. They say, well, maybe I do want to play Cyberpunk with the next generation graphics, or maybe I want to play Madden or Call it next generation graphics. By the time the PlayStation comes out, I had to wait like an extra month or something. So those people might say, hey, I'm going to buy the PlayStation when the next game, like God of War, comes out, but I'm going to buy the Xbox today because it's available today. So that's why Xbox had a huge lead in America, just because of that. 1 year.
Yeah, they were hungry. I mean, that was they wanted to shock and all Sony, and that's what they did.
And that's what they need to do with this launch. That's why I keep telling people, I was like, I don't think Microsoft is going to ever win NPD when it comes to worldwide appeal. PlayStation has that on lock. But the difference is Microsoft has a chance to get some of their install base back and share it. They'll never just have the install base. They can only share. They share with 2 other platforms. They share with PlayStation, with Nintendo and PlayStation. As long as those systems are available, they will never be the market leader. All they can do is the complementary system to a system that's already out there. People love to play.
What I think the conversation that I still think we talk about it, and then we get into another, and this isn't just us, it's a lot of shows. The one thing I don't understand is this. I use this example all the time. There's something in the pizza business, they call them doughboys. I don't know if you guys know what they are. Some people make them with chicken, some people use them pepperoni. It depends on what it is. There's this one place that's close to me, about 20 minutes away, right? They sell these doughboys. Most doughboys go for about $1.50. I'm not kidding you guys. These guys sell their doughboys for $4.50 a piece. You walk out with a box that's about the size of two, right? Just the size of 2 gaming cartridges, right? Or 2 gaming boxes together. A little box like that could be $45 because you have like 6 little doughboys in there. My point being is, this place that sells this, they know they're the only ones that make it. So they charge whatever they want. You don't want to pay them? Don't eat the doughboy. Okay? My point being is, Sony knows they've got the titles. They know they have the games. That's why a lot of people are like, oh, you guys are just saying that about Spider-Man Miles Morales. Oh, it doesn't matter. It does matter. That was one of the number one selling games this generation. Now all of a sudden they're slapping that logo, play Spider-Man Miles Morales, day 1 on your PS5. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about Game Pass. It doesn't matter that people are going to go, I got to go play. And guess what? You don't want to play Spider-Man? Don't buy a PS5. But people do want to play Spider-Man. They do want to play those games.
Let me ask you that, because this is the thing that I see a lot, right? Even if Halo looks great, I got an Xbox One X. If worse comes to worse, if I had a launch Xbox One, those things sell for $60. I could play Halo Infinite, right? If I want to play that Spider-Man, I need me a PS5. You know what I mean? If I want to play, yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that's gonna. Yeah, that's got to be taken into consideration as well.
They're spinning that as anti-consumer out there in the Twitterverse. You know what I mean?
I saw it because
it's not anti-consumer, bro. It's good business.
Actually,
Phil came out and said that he doesn't care about the actual console sale for this generation. Yeah. I mean, the next generation.
Yeah,
he cares about pushing Game Pass and all that stuff. So my whole thing about even the price talk and all that is kind of nuanced, because the head representative, he don't care if the console sells. You know what I mean? So it's like it's kind of crazy with Xbox, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, for me, like everybody that says, go ahead.
No, just real quick about the console sales. Like, I think you're taking Phil kind of out of context there. It's not necessarily about the console selling, because with the games coming out on console, if you're a console gamer, you're going to look into that, right? You're going to look into that. If you have an Xbox One, at least for the a little over the first year, you'll be able to play games on that as well. But when it comes down to it,
they said up to 2 years, by the way.
Up to. All right, up to.
Yeah, I mean, if you like, I mean, how come we don't? Hey, you don't take that for its words. But if Sony were to say that, you'd be like, well, the first 2 years, you're not getting anything anyway. Like, That I don't understand why you're like
Well,
clearly
you're just pulling something out of the air right now. What I'm saying here, this does not say anything that the head of Xbox, that Phil Spencer, doesn't care about getting the games out there to gamers. It doesn't say anything about that, because when it comes down to it, you have Xbox games that for console gamers are going to be on consoles. For PC gamers, they're going to be on PC. And with one of the topics we haven't talked about yet, when it comes to streaming games, you invest in Game Pass, supposedly xCloud's going to be right there with that. Like that, he does care about the games getting to the gamers.
I didn't say that. How does he care? How does he care about the games getting to the gamers when his whole campaign has been to bring you nothing as an Xbox platform holder, bro?
Hold on.
Xbox, I didn't even say that. I said
he didn't bring no DLC. He didn't bring no second-party exclusivity deals, and your first-party offerings were lackluster at best. And that's me being generous. He brought us nothing. So what are you talking about? Stop championing this dude, bro. That's
what I brought up is that we just had a conversation for like good 20 minutes about the price of Xbox and what we're going to do. But I'm saying that when you have a head representative saying stuff like that they don't really care about the console, who buys this next gen console. Are we really going to speculate this? If somebody's saying something like that, in my opinion, I'm thinking like, yo, this console is not going to be cheap. It's going to be the 500 or I don't think it's going to be above 500, but
I think when it comes down to it, I will never sign myself to the $400, $200 thing. If they can swing it, that would be amazing, right? But I'm not gonna ink on that contract right there, brother. There's no way. 5 and 3 sounded really good to me when it comes down. You look at the rumor of the Lockhart, which is, day by day, it's getting more and more solid, right? Mm-hmm. So to me, 5 and 3 is that perfect point. If they can drop it down even less, if they can go 4 and 2, that's going to be insane, man.
Well, yeah, that's true. Shout out to JD Gamer, who says Xbox has won NPD-style numbers in 4 territories and can win again in North America, Brazil, the UK, and Australia. Now, those
haven't
far
won in
from
North
the world.
America since 2016.
That's true, and in the world, and that was only for 1 month, I think. Crap, but it was
enough. It was like back when Gears
4
it was
came
when
the S came out.
He said it was, but he said it was enough to keep the Xbox 360 ahead of the PS3 for 7 years. So shout out to JD Gamer. I understand and I respect that stat. But we're a long time from that now. It's been quite some
people
time.
have to understand, like Sony and Microsoft can go about things a little bit differently. I think Sony does prepare for different things. Like they're gonna do like the phone streaming kind of crap too, but they aren't really shoving it down your throat, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like I feel like them as a company still rely heavily on hardware sales, and so they're gonna continue to do that. Where Microsoft is like, well, play our shit on a watch if you want to. You know what I mean? Like they don't really care as much. So I tend to agree that $499 is probably going to be the price. They're both going to be $499. And, I just feel like, it's on Phil and them to actually go out there and impress us for a change. And hopefully they do that. I do expect a great show from them. And, at the end of the day, if they don't deliver a great show, what's it going to change? Nothing from me, because I'm still going to say, hey, they dropped the ball, and the people that have damage controlled and make excuses for that company are going to continue to do so. Like literally nothing's going to change, as far as I'm concerned, either way. I mean, if it goes great, you could sway some people like myself into getting a new Xbox. If it goes bad, then I think it's status quo. But I already thought that their Xbox Series X was going to do worse than the Xbox One.
Let me do this. I want to switch subjects, but I do have two super chats here. Shout out to Carrie Howard, who says the PS3 was behind because it was $600. Let's be real. That did give it
$599. They told us to get a second job.
Right. That was a rough
to
one
afford one. Like
that was a rough one to rebound from. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I sure as hell got one though.
Gamer O'Malley makes a great point here. He goes, Mooch, open a pizza shop in New York, then stand outside and tell customers you don't care about selling pizza. Phil knows mindshare is absent. Damage control. Shout out to Gamer O'Malley and Carrie.
This thing. He sets up Microsoft and the investors and stuff like that. Like, oh, well, this doesn't matter. Because if you look at it, like, I don't think Game Pass makes them any money yet. Like, they're probably setting that up for the future to make them money.
Right.
And it could. But right now, I doubt it's making them a ton of money, So I think realistically, he's setting tempering expectations for investors and for everybody else, basically saying, don't expect this thing to sell a bunch off the shelves. You know what I mean? Like, we got economic crisis, we got this. But the interesting thing was Sony was like, economic crisis and economic recessions don't usually affect the gaming world. And they're kind of right, because we're in this and more people right now are buying consoles than almost ever. Like they're seeing record number of sales for, you know what I'm saying? So
the Switch was hard to find. It still is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is. Like my wife's been hijacked my Animal Crossing town. She turned my character into a girl. It's, it's crazy, It's
Don't
just,
introduce her to Fortnite. I lost my wife to that, by the way.
She doesn't but she loves VR and Animal Crossing, and so that's anybody that looks for a way to. She wasn't in the game at all when we first met, but I mean that's a good way to get people into that. But yeah,
I was gonna say, so let's be real though and be honest about this economic crisis. Different monster compared to been in the past. This one had people staying at home, which truly benefits game more than. Plus, you got a government that's giving people more money than they ever made in their life. Let's be real. Systems are flying off the shelf because people just got this disposable income that they never really had.
$1,200 is more than people made in their life.
$1,200. Oh no, wait, listen. In Michigan, people make literally $2,000 a month in a week. In Michigan, $2,000. So you trying to tell me more people make $4,000 a month?
Well, I don't know if that's the case or not. But
it's $600. Everybody gets $600 a week for over a 2 period. So you get $1,200 added to your unemployment on top of whatever your state gives you for unemployment. In Michigan, it's $702 is what you get in unemployment, plus $1,200 added to that because the government gave you that.
But that looks like it's gonna. A lot of people were like, "Hey, I'm gonna set this aside for my PS5, though."
That's
what
I did. But
so
that's every, but crap, that's every month for the last 3 months, though.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying, but look, so that doesn't look like the gaming world's gonna hurt any.
No, the gaming world's definitely not hurt, dude. This is probably the best thing that's ever happened in the game. Literally, this is by far the best thing that's ever happened.
And I want to point out to somebody in the chat. A couple of people were like, "It's $10 a month and 10 million subs." There are not 10 million paying subscribers in Game Pass for $10 a month. They're not.
No, most of those people are $1.
Yeah, and not only that, like me, myself, Mooch, a lot of people took advantage of. They did a deal, and they still do this sometimes. Where, however, I had Xbox Live Gold through 2022. I paid $1 one time, and it converted all my gold into Ultimate for that $1. Yeah. I don't have to pay another penny until after 2022. A lot of people did that. I'm not saying that nobody's paying that $10 a month. I'm saying that they supposedly doubled their Game Pass subscribers and didn't double their money. They actually stayed flat, meaning that a lot of people just and I'm not saying that it'll always be that way.
No,
it has the potential
to
make
be
money
very,
eventually.
Very good.
I'm just saying, right now they're probably not making a ton off of it. You put a game like Gears, or let's say Halo, which supposedly, including the engine, costs over $500 million to make. And even if you are counting 10 million at $10, that's like what, $1 billion or whatever. Halo cost half of that itself.
Right.
Again, they're paying, they're not making a lot off this. Gears supposedly cost a couple $100 million to make, and they didn't.
That's just two of the 100. That's just two of the 100 games in there. Some of them are deals, some of them aren't.
Exactly. That's all I'm trying to say. Yes, it has the potential, and it's a good value. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying right now it's probably not making them this huge amount of money that that people are really thinking it does. 10 million sounds like a lot, but think about this. Sony has 42 million paying PlayStation Plus subscribers, right? I mean, let's just keep it real, all right? Like, if which one's better? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day,
they're a step close to Xbox Live not being free, being almost free at this point. That's what they're getting closer and closer. Because
they need to make it free to play games free.
No, look, I keep having this conversation with my friends and stuff. And the whole Game Pass usually $1 for however. Like right now, you can go get that same deal for $1. You got X amount of years already. You convert it over. I just think they're getting closer and closer, like kind of fading out that paid part of it because they're just giving it away at this point. Like most people are literally not paying for it. It's like you don't have to worry about it for 2 to 3 years, to the point where we are all speculating that the next Xbox literally might have anywhere from 6 months to a year worth in the box. At a certain point, I'm just starting to think that they're just going to kind of fade that away and not even make you pay for it anymore. And it it just seems like they're in this consumer friendly mode right now. What would be one of the most consumer friendly things they can do? Literally, just not make you pay for Xbox Live.
I mean, that'd be a
Well,
big
that's
deal.
the thing. The only thing, and don't get me wrong, Forte. I like where Forte was going with that, but the only thing is, if they're not going to get rid of Xbox Live,
I heard it makes them something.
They're not going to get rid of Xbox Live. They'll still make you pay for Game Pass because Game Pass, I think, here's the thing. I think Game Pass is going to be their new subscription model. Literally, their new model.
Yes,
but they have Ultimate, which is both.
Yeah, Ultimate is both, but that's only because of PC though. Because PC doesn't pay for it. They basically tricked Xbox PC players into thinking that they don't pay for Xbox Live, but technically do. But the only reason you have Ultimate is so you can have it on both Xbox and PC.
But they technically say it's Xbox Live bundled in as well.
They do, but
Yeah.
I'm just to a point now, because if you just have Game Pass by itself, that's just for Xbox. If you pay the $5 more, you get Ultimate, which includes Xbox Live plus access to PC on top of it.
Right.
I'm just getting to the point now where if you just want to just make it so it's $15 just for Game Pass, then you just completely make Xbox Live free. Because that's pretty much what they're doing. You're literally not even for Xbox Live.
That's what it is now. So you're saying they would just stop the wording, but it is baked into the price.
It's literally baked into the price. They'll just literally turn off and say you don't even pay for Xbox Live anymore.
Right. Let me say shout out to JD Gamer because I want to actually ask Forte a question because this does lead into the topic I just put up. He says, JD Gamer says, my point in the previous post was to say Xbox doesn't need to, I think he put need to we as far as reaching PlayStation to sell over 80 million units and take market share from PlayStation. They just need to launch well and provide great experiences. JD, to be honest with you, I know a lot of people aren't hearing what we're saying. That's pretty much what we've been saying. They need new IP, they need new games, and they need those games to be riveting enough to get people back in the seat. You know what I mean? To play the game.
Here's the thing, right? I want them to have experiences. They're not going to beat Sony in sales. That's silly.
Right.
I just want them to excite me as a gamer again. The way that the feeling I got when I played Gears for the first time or Halo for the first time. You know, I haven't had that this generation, and I don't care who gets tired of hearing it. I want that. I want that feeling of awe when I pop in the game and play it for the first time. And Sony's given me that this gen. They gave it to me last gen with Uncharted 2 and other games. The gen before that, the Xbox 360 gave me that. Xbox gave me that. The Xbox One has failed to do that for me personally. Okay? I want that experience, and I want that next. You know, they took away one of my favorite franchises. I know it's coming back in Fable, but they took, and I have a right to be pissed off. And, and like I said, I'm very optimistic. I didn't even say temper expectations. I probably will, but the July event, from what I've heard, will be absolutely incredible. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. And hopefully they can get me excited and a lot of other people excited, because having that competition is good for everybody.
From the heart, crap. Speak from the heart.
Let me ask you guys this question, and I'll start with Forte, but guys, chime in. I want to know, do you think that xCloud, one of the things that we're going to hear at the July conference is that xCloud is going to be also thrown into the bundle of Game Pass? So whether it be the $10 or $15 subscription that is, whatever, xCloud's just thrown in, right? So is it just?
I hope not. I hope not, Mooch. I hope
now?
not. I hope not, because it's not ready. That streaming stuff is just not ready. I'm in the beta program. It's still broken. It's not good, and that's what a very high speed connection. It's still very. It's not functional. It doesn't.
So
work.
you don't think that's something they'll do this year?
I hope they don't. I don't know what they'll do. They might do that dumb shit, because dumb shit is what they do. So they might just do it. I'm just saying I hope they don't do it. I hope they don't, because it's not ready. It's not ready for them to market, so they should just deliver some awesome shit and show the power of your next generation console, and that's it, man.
But I agree. I don't think talk about it until it's 100% ready for prime time. But I do agree that they will throw that thing. They will be a part of Game Pass. Now, I don't know if they'll rate price like $5 or $10 add it in, or they'll just make it part of this price point. But I do think when they do announce, you don't want to be doing different services from one company. That's why I added Xbox Live Game Pass in order to kind of make it not paying these multiple subscription services from one company. So I do think that will be but I agree with Knox. Shouldn't talk about it until it's 100% baked in and ready out the box. Now, I don't have problems with xCloud. I don't. I hear some people, certain areas don't. I hear people literally at work playing like Halo and everything and never had a frame drop in their life while they were playing on it. But then I hear people like Knox that said have bad with it. So they just need to figure out the regional.
That would be such a polar opposite of my experience, bro. So for someone to say that they never, my man, that.
Yeah,
very hard to believe.
Well, I
Mike is on xCloud.
It is
well,
bad. It is bad.
Aaron Greenberg listens to you on the show, and he has targeted you for crappy xCloud. That's exactly what's going on.
Well, the only reason I bring up some people is because I sit in Discord with the Iron Lords. I talk to Lord Kaibatsu. He plays a lot on xCloud when he's at work and stuff. And every time I'm talking to him, he's always talking about how the games are running buttery smooth. And we're talking about on his work Wi-Fi, which isn't the best Wi-Fi because they don't pay for the toppest of the highest tier. And he talked about how it's a great experience, how it's very playable. He doesn't have it, like everybody has with it, but to the point where it's unplayable. That's where I think the big divide is. Some people have the worst experience ever, and some people have really good experiences, and they need to make sure that those people that have bad experiences don't have as many as they normally have. But those people are out there. But I do agree with Knox. If you're having those, they shouldn't be talking about it until it's 100% satisfiable to everybody.
Listen, real quick, shout out to JD Gamer who's here. And JD, I want to read your super chat, and then I want to kind of rebut to it. He says here, stop with the Game Pass doesn't make money narrative, because the truth is that doesn't matter to Microsoft right now. They are trying to establish a standard. Standards are established through adoption, i.e. Facebook, Twitter, the internet, period. None of these things made money early on. JD, here's the thing though. So I have you telling me, guys, stop with the Game Pass doesn't make money. Then we have people saying, Mooch, just stop with selling consoles. They don't need to sell consoles. They need it. So if they don't need to sell consoles, and we don't have to worry about them making money at Game Pass, JD, have you reached out to any of the Microsoft investors? I don't know if they would agree with your super chats. I think that they would say, well, you better make money somewhere, right? So Phil's saying Phil's saying you don't have to buy the console, and now JD's saying don't worry about Game Pass. And JD, I get where you're coming from. He's saying it's an investment. It is an investment, but the problem is what good is the console and what good is the Game Pass service if the first party IP that are the selling point for Game Pass and the selling point for buying a console aren't roping in the customers? And therein lies the problem. Therein lies the problem. I'm telling you, July is a big show. And if you don't think so, everyone's cool, calm, collective on the internet. I get it. But trust me, people at Xbox are watching this July show like they've never watched any show before. They are all, I think a lot of people are really going to,
I'll tell you, and this is one thing I can say with, and I don't know this for certain, but I can, but if I had to put money down on the side, if you had Xbox literally put up of all the games that's available in game.
Yes.
And you take PlayStation Now, and all the games that's available in PlayStation Now, and put the price points up, $10 and $10. If you was to ask a person, like, hey, which you want, and you bought this service, these are all the games you get, and you didn't buy games in the store. Even knowing Game Pass games day and date through Microsoft, people would probably still go with PlayStation just because of the brand recognition. They know that right. System, they know the games. So Game Pass and PlayStation Now are kind of on the same deal. It's just the simple fact that PlayStation is just a bigger brand. So, but PlayStation doesn't talk about PlayStation Now. But I wish they did talk about it more, because there is a lot of people that just want to buy a system to entertain people that are at their house, like this. It's like these services aren't for Mooch, Daybari, Knox. It ain't for crap. These are for the people that are like literally. It's like a hyper focused version of backwards compatibility.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the problem is?
I don't think that's not gonna catch on. That's not gonna catch on.
No,
you know what I mean? Like that's gonna catch on like the Wii.
It will catch on to the like if you have a decision. Like if you are a person, and I'm not talking about. You got to remove our gaming hats here, our ultra gaming hats. if you are a person walking into a store and a person tells you that you don't have to buy games for this system right now, all you got to do is subscribe for this, and you get this many games, and like you literally can show them the games that are on that list. Most people will literally go that direction.
You know why?
I don't know.
PlayStation now,
subscriptions, bro.
PlayStation now has an issue. PlayStation's now's biggest issue is people still think you got to stream everything on there.
Exactly.
Right? That's
Right.
that people like I keep telling people this, like the majority of people don't want to stream their shit. They want to be able to download it. So they did change it to where you can download the PS4 stuff, but there's still that confusion. People to this day, if I mention that PS Now has 2-something million subs and they're like, yeah, but you know, you got to stream it. Like, no, you can download the PS4 stuff. Okay.
I agree.
Like they have a lot of good games. They've implemented it. They've upgraded it. There's a lot of cool games and newer games that they put out there too. They're both good. I just think that, you know, that whole stigma of it's streaming kind of hurts it at this time, because I know a lot of people who are like me and they aren't into the streaming thing at all. So they don't want to. do
let
that.
me do it. So guys, I literally have 10 minutes left. I do want to talk about 2 other subjects real quick. I want to go around the panel here. Go ahead, Forte. Go ahead and wrap it up if you want. Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Forte mic is clipping a little bit.
Yeah, Forte, your mic. Can you reset your mic?
Sounds like he's yelling from down the block.
No, he's not. It's not so much the loud. It's just going in and out.
Oh, it's clipping? I'm sorry.
That's all right. So let me just do Matador. El Matador 809, he says, if Lockhart is real and is less powerful, would that hold back next-gen games to take it to the next level?
Depends on who you ask.
It depends on who you ask. Lockhart should get axed and DG Series X. And then real quick, the JD Gamer, thank you to JD Gamer again. He says, I am an investor, and anybody who invested in Facebook, Twitter, Amazon early on will tell you their faith paid off as well. Well, think about it, though. Facebook is still, you know, you sign up for Facebook. Facebook doesn't, if you sign up for Facebook right now, it's still free. But yeah, I know what you're saying. I completely get it. He says, Mooch, you have about 4 more weeks with this no games narrative left. Then what? Then Microsoft blows its load. I just want to know where you go from there. Listen, JD, you know where I go from there? Are the games they show?
The games?
Are the games any good? That's when we go from there.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's always going to be stuff to talk about.
I mean, JD, I've been doing this since 2014. There's a lot to talk about. There's always a lot to talk about. So you know.
Hey, don't forget. I mean, we got big game announcements from them in the past, and we're excited. Yeah. And then, do they actually come out? Like, how far along are? Like, those are things that. And not only that, but Microsoft has a burden of proof upon them. Unlike, well, like we all know, Sony is going to deliver. You know, they've done it consistently every single generation. Microsoft went through an entire generation where a lot of people felt they less than delivered. And so it's on them to not only put out quality product, but consistently quality product.
Right,
you know
consistently.
What I mean?
Not like one game and then 8 stinkers. You know what I mean? It has to be consistent.
Like you can't do a Halo and then follow that up with Grounded and Battletoads
like
and
people but there's people out there that don't like Days Gone, and I get that. If you don't like Days Gone, it's not your bag. That's fine. I liked it. But guess what?
It's incredibly long.
But here's the thing: even if you don't like it, it's still a good game. You may not like it, but it's a good game. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, there's certain games that Sony has that I don't like. Like, I really don't. Like, Infamous Second Son, I think it's beautiful.
I'm not a Persona person.
But I think it would put me to sleep, you know? So, like,
I love Infamous, man. One of my favorites.
So, let me
I like Infamous First Light better than Second Son.
Hold on, because you're the first one that's going to want to leave at 9. I got 2 subjects I got to talk about. I got to get these in.
Okay, right. Get them in.
Cyberpunk 2077 delayed again. I have to ask you guys, just quick around the panel. Do you guys think that this is, like, because they said literally this. So, they've delayed it a zillion times. Then it was supposed to come out in September, and they're like, we don't want to let it out in September because we feel like there's a lot of bugs and we want to polish it. The game's done, but we want to polish it. It's June, right? They've delayed it a zillion times. Bugs. They're asking to go till November now. I don't think this is bugs. I think either there's a major flaw with the game, or I think they're just trying to make it so that they can make it a next-gen console seller. Jay, let me go to Jay Barry. Jay, what do you think when you heard about this the delay again happening with Cyberpunk?
Yeah, I feel that, announcing the delay here it's just the current gen consoles that they're having issues with as far as delivering their promise for the game. They're going to need more time to work on it. Mm-hmm. But I'm as much as delays can hurt, it's also kind of good because eventually, hopefully, you get a more polished game. But I'm just happy that it's cross-buy on PlayStation. that they're supporting a service that has been on the PS3 for a long time. So Cyberpunk is cross-buy with PS4 and PS5, so that's a good thing. That's all.
Okay, so Eric Jackson, let me ask you. I mean, I know that you guys are all kind of amped for this game. I mean, I think because everyone says, well, CD Projekt Red made The Witcher. The Witcher was great, so this will be great. We've also said the other, right, where sometimes a bad company or bad developing team has made something great. Sometimes something great can also make something not so great. So when I watched the last preview they gave us, Eric, when they showed us like the gameplay and stuff, it didn't look too good to me. It didn't look like what we originally saw. And I'm not talking about the normal downgrade. It didn't look like what we were promised. Do you see that this is an issue or no? And I'm asking the question. I honestly. Myself personally, Jay Barry. I'm gonna have to ask Jay Barry to do earmuffs because Jay and Crap are huge console guys. I'm a huge console guy, but I think Cyberpunk 2077 will be the first game I buy on PC because I think because I got to be honest with you, I think on the consoles, I think it's gonna be a buggy mess. I think it'll be a buggy mess on PC, just a little bit more tolerable because you can scale it more. But Eric, where do you think
Plus, you can download it for free and just steal it,
or you can do that too, Crap. But go ahead, Eric. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll first say that I'm always okay with a developer taking as much time as they need if they need it, right?
Yes.
So let's get that off the rip. But I'm in the same boat as Jay. I think there's something going on because we've already heard that they were having issues with the I wouldn't say the current gen like the Pro or the X, I guess, but they are, I guess in a way. So I definitely think there's something going on with that, and I think if they're trying to get it to run on base PS4 and get it to run on base OG Xbox or the S, I should say. Right. Then they're probably definitely running into issues because we've seen the later games in the generation struggle. We've seen Control really struggle with the like they say, it's damn near unplayable like on the base consoles. So if they're trying to, factor in those consoles, I can see them having major issues with those. I have a feeling that maybe the PC version, and they're trying to definitely get there in their window for the next gen versions, since they've already addressed that, are probably fine. But I think they're definitely probably struggling with the
Xbox One version. Just keep it real. That Xbox One is holding everything back. That's why they canceled Resident Evil 8 on the current consoles. It couldn't be done, man, and I'm thankful for that, man.
And you know what? I was completely okay with it. I know some people get upset when you say you're okay with that. I'm like, do it.
Yeah.
You gotta leave everything behind, leave it behind.
Yeah, apparently it was loading like
a foreign thing now.
There's going to be. I don't understand. Like, here's the thing, and I mentioned this earlier because people were like, "Oh, well, Microsoft has this term now. Oh, we try to be consumer friendly, and Sony's not consumer friendly because they're leaving the PS4 behind." Like, I'm the opposite stance. If I'm buying a new $500 console and you're not giving me stuff that can't be played specifically on that and is better than the other, like. That's not consumer friendly to me, man. I want to invest in a new console and get dividends right away. And so I really, really like, I really like that.
People really need to understand the difference between anti-consumer, like what's consumer friendly, what's anti-consumer, and what's just business. There's like major differences in something being anti-consumer. Like we can do it on another show, Mooch, where we can give major examples of anti-consumerism.
Absolutely. I mean, myself personally, I think that the fact there is, and I see a lot of people like. I like that Eric first started his comment with the fact that if it needs a delay to make it a better game, dude, take it. We got plenty of games to ride out the summer, right? We got plenty of games as we go into next generation. Thank God this time it's gonna be the first time we go into a new generation with either console, and both are gonna have games to come home with on day one. That's amazing. So I just gotta say, take your time. That's fine. But I just think that there seems to be a CD Projekt Red defense force that's just like, don't worry about it, it's great. And I'm like, but the last time we saw it when they aired it, it didn't look so great. Don't worry, Mooch, it's great. All right, but I
kind of know. Hey,
listen, Mooch, it's great, bro.
Of course, it's great. Everything's great. That's why I come up with great, right? You can't say anything. Everything is great.
It's gonna be fantastic,
right? I mean, what the hell's not great?
I'm on the front line of that defense force.
Holy
CD Projekt
shit.
Red, baby.
Keep it great. But here's the thing, right? That's my new slogan. There was another one there that I wanted to talk about, but nonetheless, I think we're getting really close to the 9 o'clock hour. I did want to talk about this crap. I'll give you one more plug here. You got to say it, right? You're big on VR. You're Mr. VR, right? You're Mr. VR.
I've been playing VR a lot lately.
Well, how about Star Wars? Star Wars is coming to VR.
Hey, I gotta say, the Star Wars, when I heard that was in VR, absolutely blew. I'm so pumped for that. And the reason why is because Iron Man comes out too. And so those are two bigger type games for VR, and I absolutely love VR. And I know a lot of people don't, but that's fine. But I honestly, it's so immersive and such a break from the norm. Sometimes when I just want to chill and relax, and you can kind of like, you're visiting these worlds. Who hasn't dreamt of being a starfighter pilot? You know, if you're a Star Wars fan, like there was a 30-minute demo or a 30-minute mission in the original Battlefront game in PlayStation VR. I was like a little kid again in that, you know, I'm in an X-Wing, you know, like it's amazing. So I'm super happy that that's coming, and I'm excited about the future of VR. Sony is going to continue to support that. Thankfully, I'm looking forward to seeing their next iteration. I'm sure it'll probably be wireless and have better tracking and stuff. Everybody I know that actually tries it loves it. So yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled by it. I can't wait to see it and play. It's a day one buy, you know. And it's a day one buy on PS4 because of VR.
VR,
so,
of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Shout out to Sir X-Man, who says, are you guys excited for Apex Legends crossplay? These are all parts of the EA Play, guys. And you guys can discuss anything on EA Play. Shout out to Sir X-Man. He's got a couple. He says he needs more mayonnaise, too. Sir X-Man, there's so many different... Right?
It went bad. The mayonnaise went bad waiting for an MPD win.
And True Witty says, anti-consumer is not taking advantage of your buy. So shout out to True Witty. But what did you guys think about the EA Play? Go ahead. I didn't know if that was Eric. I couldn't hear who was trying to chime in.
Boring. Where was the Mass Effect
was that
trilogy?
Eric or...
Come on.
I couldn't.
I don't know what that show was, man. And it honestly felt like something happened, like somebody had to go, and they just said, you know what, let's go, let's get out of here and end it.
Yeah,
the way it was very abrupt. It was like crazy. I was like, what just happened? Like they're really ending on Skate 4. That's it.
Well, that and I got a game for it. I see Forte's got his mic muted. But Forte, if you're here. Forte,
I'm here.
Forte, you did an awesome video today, dude. You put it out there. It was like last night. I saw it this morning when you're like, you ended it on Skate. Now I gotta be honest with you. I love Gaming Forte's videos. Forte, what was your take when you saw that? You were kind of just like not happy, apparently.
Look, man. As soon as I saw that, I was like crap. I literally was looking at Star Wars, and I was like. So my adrenaline level was super high because I'm just like, crap, I'm going to play that in VR. When they announced it all the way to VR, I was like, oh, this is going to be incredible. And then it literally cut, and they was like, hey, we got one more thing to show you. I was like, oh, Mass Effect, let's go. And then all of a sudden, they said Skate. And I was like, what? And I was like, they didn't even show us a logo. No logo.
Like nothing.
They didn't show us a logo. They just showed us two guys on a couch excited to tell us that we did something that they thought would never happen. Bring Skate back.
They didn't even get started on that game yet, bro.
I was like, listen, bro. And this is the thing. Me and Slow-Mo did a live stream. Yes. Check that out. It's on Slow-Mo's channel. We did an hour live stream talking about our thoughts on that show. But man, it was so. I didn't want to say that show was trash because Star Wars kind of elevated that show to better than I thought it. But when it came to that ending, I was like, listen, Skate's a good game. People are excited to play Skate. I hear people all the time saying, hey, man, when they going to make a new Skate? It's
a big franchise.
It's a very big franchise. But I'm looking at it from the standpoint of what is going to the bigger bang for your buck. Are you literally about to tell us that this show is about to end on freaking Skate?
On Skate?
On Skate? I was like, and then you show us trash and then on top of that, you show us trash like Command and Conquer, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. It's not even the better versions of Command
and Conquer. It was terrible.
Crap versions. I was like, what is this show? I was like, I was like, listen, man, I was so through with that show. All the way
show
through.
a JPEG.
Listen, look. EA got a lot to learn, man. They got a lot to learn when it comes to showmanship because them saying we got one more thing. I'm thinking about when a company says we got one more thing. Remember when Microsoft said we got one more thing to show you, and when PlayStation said we got one more thing to show you, I'm expecting something like, oh, this is gonna be something like big, like. Even Mass Effect,
the remaster. Yeah.
Even a remake of Mass Effect would have been bigger than that. I'm sitting there like, and then you show Battlefield. You say, oh, the next Battlefield, and you show a bunch of people running across the screen with no textures on their character. I'm like, what is this? You show Dragon Age 4 saying, "Oh, this is game stuff in works for Dragon Age 4," and all you see is a tree with something growing on it and it looked like it was breathing. I'm like, what is this? This is like a tech demo that's not even a full demo.
Right.
I'm like, dude, I was done with it, and then they showed Skate 3. They showed Skate. No, I take that back. They didn't show it. They just said we're making it. They didn't even give us no context around it and said, "Oh, us gamers did this great thing by making Skate a reality." I'm like, miss me with that. Miss me with the end of that. I'm good.
Yeah, no, Forte, you nailed it. And that was actually a good rendition of your 2-minute video. That was awesome how you did that little thing on Twitter. I thought it was great. I watched it. I said, boy, Forte nailed it right here. Jay, what did you think of that, Jay? Was it something that, we saw, and shout out to the guys in the Super Chat. They made a good point. True Witty says, so that Star Wars VR won't be on Xbox. No, the VR will not be available on Xbox, of course. You'll be able to play the game. And so X-Man comes back and says, Tony Hawk Pro Skater is going to be better. That's the other thing. When they showed Skate, Jay, right? I'm sitting there and I'm like, but everyone's clamoring for Tony Hawk.
Yeah, no, those things ebb and flow. I think we got a bunch of those skateboarding games in a row, and then people kind of oversaturated. Same thing with
Guitar Hero,
Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Like those would have been good once every other year, but then it was like so many different knockoffs and Rock Band and this kind and this rock and this band and so then eventually people kind of got sick of it. I actually kind of like that stuff though, so I don't know.
Right.
I'm excited for the Tony Hawk stuff though. The first two were fantastic.
Yeah, Jay, did you have an opinion on the EA play?
I thought the show was hot garbage. But I did enjoy the Star Wars stuff. I was on Salty's podcast yesterday as well as the show was going on. But just seeing the Squadron, Star Wars Squadron, that got me really hyped for real. That's a day one buy, and that's pretty much the highlight for me with the show. I'm not really a Skate fan or a Tony Hawk fan. I did play the demo of Tony Hawk back in the day, but I never really how everybody's really excited for those. That's not my jam, but I'm happy that it got announced, but you just can't do that, man. In the gaming event, you can't just hey guys, Skate is coming and let's leave the show from there.
Is it also safe to say, I mean, you guys, I myself personally, if I'm not playing The Last of Us 2 now, I'm playing a ton of Warzone. I can't stop playing Warzone. But my thing is this, do you guys actually think that Apex Legends to me is it's dead? I think it's dead, right? I mean, do people care about Apex Legends? Is that still a massive game? What do you guys think?
It's got huge following.
It's a massive game.
Really? It's doing well?
Huge.
I don't know. I know that. Well, I don't know.
To be honest with you, it's the most played game on PSN right now. It's rivaling with FIFA, Fortnite. I think it surpassed Fortnite a little bit right now. PSN right now. Apex Legends. It's
funny whenever I go to look at all the ones that are on Twitch. And maybe Twitch is the wrong way for me to check it, but Apex is always the bottom of the BR pile. It only beats PUBG.
But it's got tons, millions and millions of people playing it.
Well, I guess it's still great then. I don't know. I myself personally, I don't see anyone playing it anymore. I don't see anyone talking about it anymore.
Well, I don't see anybody play GTA Online, but that apparently is the most played thing. So I don't know.
It's a good point.
So I guess we're friends with people who play common things, but that's not necessarily the best way to judge who's online playing these things. So
yeah, I don't know. I myself personally, I think that you have Warzone, which has done an unbelievable job.
Yeah, I mean,
in the battle royale space, right? I mean, Fortnite still holds its own. You don't have to like Fortnite, but Fortnite still holds its own.
Yeah, Fortnite is a phenomenon with what they do. I guess they put on concerts in there and crazy shit, man. It's they have characters that resonate with teenagers and kids and stuff. I get it. It's not for me. I don't particularly want to get teabagged by a 10-year-old.
Super smart people that's marketing that game and in these deals for Star Wars and Marvel and all that. Really, really smart stuff on them.
Yeah, I don't know myself.
Exactly.
I think Forte kind of summed it all up. Shout out to Starks. He says Apex Legends has over 70 million people. Oh my god, I better get on it. I just myself personally, shout out again, Starks. He says I still play Rock Band. I think the Rock Band game's got to come back. I thought those were a lot of fun too back in the day, but then again, they did oversaturate it, and I think people just got tired of it with time.
I'll still break out my 360 sometimes for that.
God bless you.
That's the college days, man. The Rock Band.
Yeah, make that a drinking game any day, guys. I want to say this. It's well after 9 o'clock. We managed to keep Crap Gamer here for 10 minutes over in soccer time, right? That's penalty time. To be honest with you guys, it's an outstanding show. Got a lot of people writing me right now on Twitter saying, Mooch, great show, great show. Guys, it's a lot of fun. A lot of people don't understand. Maybe a lot of people still don't get CrossFire, and that's okay. I've only been doing it forever. I think that, it's fun to have a difference of opinion. I like the back and forth. I think that's fun. I learned a lot tonight.
I want to get back into Last of Us, man. Let's go.
All right, we'll do that. So do I. But, Forte made some great points. Xbot made some good points. Shout out to Jay Barry, made some great points. BitCloud, who had to leave early. Eric Jackson, all of you guys. Noximus was on fire. I got to be really honest with you guys. This is what this show's all about. It's about great banter, great back and forth. It's not arguing. Everyone on this panel are very good friends. Everyone that is on this panel, I know, all talk to each other, all have a great time. And yeah, we are. There is a code for me to still give away. And I don't know how to actually do this, right? I don't sound like I have a pinwheel here with everybody from the panel. The only thing I can say is this. So let me do this. So before I actually end the show and I do the outros, what I guess we'll do is, and Crap, do you have a good idea, Crap, on how to give away a game? Anybody on the panel? If you do, DM me real quick. If anybody has any ideas.
Good way to give away the game. What game are you giving away? Last of Us?
Last of Us 2.
Huh.
Yeah, what do you think?
What you can do is...
Oh, shit.
Go ahead, Jay.
A website here. It's called Name Picker.
Yep.
You can go to participants in the chat. You can just copy the whole participants and then place it in this website, and then you can pick from there the random.
Well, here's the thing. The only thing is, it's for the folks that stuck around. So there may be some people that may be here that were here for like 5 minutes and then bounce. So here's what I'll do. It's the only way I know how to do it, guys. Maybe it's not the greatest way. Maybe it's not the greatest way. Okay? I don't have a degree in this, but I will tell you this much. So I mentioned something halfway through the show that's for sale that is outrageously expensive that I don't like to pay for, but because they're the only ones that have the ingredients for it, this place.
I know.
Okay? Right? So if you could tell me what that was that angers the Mooch, that I have to pay that much for that delicious, delicious item, then you win the prize. Right? I don't know how else to do it. It's a word.
No, that's good.
That's a good one. That's good.
Wait, asking the question, yeah.
Greg E3 comes close, but he's not there. There it is. Attack the Seam.
Attack the Seam
is the first one with Doughboys.
Doughboys, yes.
They cost too damn much. Bring the Doughboys down to $1.50, please. So there, Attack the Seam. Do me a favor, please. Somehow in the chat.
He's on Twitter.
I hope so.
Yeah, he's on Twitter.
It's the only way for me to get a hold of him.
Yeah.
So Attack the Sim, give me your Twitter just so I have it. Put it in the chat and put @Mooch so I see it pop up there. Look at you, US Man B comes in @Doughboys Mooch. Goddamn Doughboys. Okay. Attack the Sim, please let me know what your Twitter is and I'll DM it to you right after the show. I want to thank Rich Kreischer for the gift. That's Rich Kreischer, who's a major Mooch Maniac. Is just an amazing guy. He's been with Mooch for a very long time, and he gave me the code for that. So he's given me enough to give you to get the deluxe edition. So you're gonna get all the fan art, you get the soundtrack, you get the theme that comes with it, you get the extra stuff in game. It's an outstanding package. Yeah, it's a great package.
Hey, what do you think of that collector's edition, Mooch? Pretty nice, huh?
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it.
I love collector's editions.
You guys know this crap, right? I've said it for a long time. I didn't do collector's editions for a long time, but now that I have the office set up and I'm doing the podcast and doing this and doing that and the streaming, I want to decorate the room. So I'm going to start doing collector's edition starting now, craps. That's my first.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
But absolutely.
Did you get Ghost one or no?
I got the Ghost one as well. Yes, I did. I got them both. I told you from The Last of Us.
They sold out of the Ghost one. I was gonna get that, but that thing sold out fast.
Yeah, that mask is coveted apparently.
But I'm like really excited by. I don't know, it sounds lame or fanboyish, but the difference between games, like you go from Last of Us to I'll be playing Iron Man VR, and then into Ghost of Tsushima. Like that's a hell of a 1, 2, 3 right there for the next couple months for me personally. So, and it's like a varied of games, you know what I mean? So it's not like, I know The Last of Us is kind of a downer or whatever. Then you get to have some crazy fun being Iron Man. And then, you play Ghost of Tsushima, which looks great. So it's very exciting. time to kind of game. Plus, we get to look forward to what we're getting next generation. It's going to be fun.
It really is an amazing thing. I'll do the outros here, guys. I want to say thank you to everybody. Let me do a quick thank you to BitCloud Gaming. BitCloud stopped in. He just got done doing 2 podcasts. He literally hasn't slept at all. I think he's been playing The Last of Us 2 straight through. So shout out to BitCloud. All of his information is right there on the screen. Please do check him out. He's an awesome dude. There's a lot of great content. So shout out to BitCloud. Let me go to Jay Barry. Jay, honestly, always and again, you have just, I wish we actually got a chance to hang out years ago, but that's okay. We have many great years ahead of us.
Hey, you know what? Let me say this about Jay real quick, because he used to give me shit when I was like this big Xbox fan, but he did it in the right way. That guy never got personal, ever.
Never.
It was always straight gaming. You know what I mean? Like straight up gaming. Like he'd poke fun, but never ever took it personal. And that's the best way to do it, because you can still respect the hell out of somebody, even if you disagree with them. So it was fun to kind of do a podcast with him and, just put that out there, that he always kept it gaming and never went too far or anything like that. So he's a good guy.
It's not personal for me, man. Like if you don't like me, it's because of like my gaming opinions, which is cool, but it's never nothing personal. People always tie me to like I'm this toxic dude that goes personal, but I never went personal with nobody.
Yeah, I can attest to that. It's never happened. Yeah.
Well,
he'd be like, let's talk about it. That was his thing, though. Like when PlayStation was doing something good and Xbox was stinking, he'd be like, hey, let's talk about it. I'd be in Bang Bang Next Gen Gamers, and I'd be like, damn it, man, talk about it. Xbox was stinking it up. What can you do? What can you talk about? You can't let me damage control that with next gen.
You guys did find your way to talk about it, though.
Yeah, hey, nobody could damage control like me and next gen back in the day, man. That was
I tell guys today. I say, yo, you guys don't understand. Like Mooch, crap, those guys, those are the tip of the top of the board. You know what I mean? Where these new guys pretty sensitive now. I don't get it, man. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, you get blocked fast. Yeah, I'm blocked by a lot. Sometimes people be like, look what this person's saying. And I'm like, I never talked to this person in my life, but I'm blocked. You know what I mean? Like you can't have a difference of opinion.
It happens. It happens. But I got to say, Jay, it's just been awesome, man. It's been an experience, and you're always welcome on this channel. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support you have given me on Twitch and on YouTube. So let me just say thank you again, and let people know where they can find you, please.
Yeah, definitely appreciate the invite. It was a pleasure being on here. Sorry if I don't want to offend anybody, but this is my opinions. I'm very opinionated, and I'm gonna speak my mind. But yeah, you can find me Jay Barry _ on Twitter, and just Jay Barry on YouTube, man. If you guys want to check out my content, you can go ahead and do it.
Awesome, Jay. Thank you so much for that. And then I got my buddy Eric Jackson. Eric, honestly, you know what? We're always hit and miss when we can get our schedules together, but when it's a hit. It's a hit. Eric, another great night, buddy. Thank you so much for being here, and please let people know where they can follow you. And by the way, let me just say this much, Eric. I know a lot of people bother you. I'm going to bother you real quick. Will you please make a YouTube channel? Because it wouldn't be bad to hear you once a week with some reason. That's it. I'm done. Go ahead, Eric. Plug yourself.
Hey, since the last time I was on, you said that. I've actually been considering, man. I'm thinking about it. I actually have some ideas. I actually have a name and all this stuff. So it's just, putting it down on paper and actually getting something going. I'm considering, though. It might happen.
Well, I appreciate it. Let people know about Twitter so that they can find out when you're going to do it.
All right, man. I'm on Twitter, EC Jackson with an X. And yeah, man, just like Bart was saying, man, jokes are fun. You can joke, goof, go back and forth. Healthy banter is a great thing. Have some banter, have some fun. But if you take it serious, if you get into the point where you got to block somebody over consoles and plastic and toys, these are toys, people, at the end of the day. That's wild. So stop.
Facts.
It should just be fun. And have more talks about gaming as opposed to energy keeping.
Yes.
And the tit for tat. And just talk more about what you're playing. Talk more, ask other people what they're playing. You might learn some things.
No, I completely agree. And I think that's what's great about it. Like I said, I know maybe on CrossFire our excitement levels jump to a 10 sometimes. But at the same time, at the end of everything, and E, you've been on plenty of CrossFires now. I mean, at the end of the day, what do? We still hang out, laugh, and we're like, you know what? Some people at the end of the show are like, I'm glad you brought that point up. I didn't even think about that. Like, that's the thing is open communication, having a great dialogue. And like you said, at the end of the day here, all good friends when we leave, always, every day. That's the point of the show. So, E, thank you for that rationale. I appreciate that.
Always, man. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. Then I got my buddy here, Dean Knox. Dean's probably maybe he's a couple Glenn Levins deep. I'm not sure yet. Noximus, when the heck can we get another video from you, buddy? And thank you so much for being here.
A little something. No, man, just be here, Mooch. And you actually trust me. I really do. I gotta bring it back. I want to, man. I really do. It's just been rough, man. You know, with this whole everything that's going on right now, it's the field that I'm in. It's very demanding. So, you know, especially when it comes to what's going on right now with this pandemic and all that. But you know, I do want to bring that back. Always a great time here. Great panel. Great chat. Awesome as always. Shout out like always to the next podcast fam. Y'all already know how that goes. And Dean Knox on Twitter at Dean Knox. Yep, there, man. We shoot the shit.
That's my boy. I appreciate that, Dean. Thank you so much. And then I got Gaming Forte. Forte, honestly, outstanding show tonight. You're always outstanding, but tonight, literally 5 gold stars. You put a lot of things in perspective. Myself, my ears were wide open, and I was listening. Forte, thank you for being here tonight, and please let people know where they can find you. Forte. Did we lose Forte?
You can find him at a mic store buying a better mic for next week.
That's okay, Forte. I got all Forte's information right up there. His gaming channel, his YouTube, and his on Twitter. Thank you so much for being here, Forte. Don't worry about it. We'll definitely catch up next week, buddy. And then I've got, Xbot448 wrote me and he said, I got to take care of something with the family, Mooch. Make sure you plug me. Xbot448 on Twitter. He's Xbot448 on YouTube. He's got next podcast tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Check out Xbot448.
Phil Spencer needed his shoes buffed. That's what he's doing right now.
Crap.
Got to buff them bitches out, man. Got to make sure Huckster Phil looks good in July, baby.
Come
I'm telling
on
you, man.
now, crap.
I'm just kidding.
Crap,
a little tap dancing in July.
Crap, how can they find you?
Crap Gamer Reviews. I'm looking forward. I'm about to actually hop back on Last of Us Part 2.
Yes.
Have a little bit of fun over there. I just want to let everybody know, Injustice, the game, what the hell is that? Yeah, Injustice Gods Among Us, the first one. It's free right now on Xbox and PlayStation and PC. If you remember, PC and PlayStation 4 got an ultimate version, and apparently all the DLC is free with that. Xbox version was always just a backwards compatible version, but that's free as well. So, hey, free game.
Free to keep, crap, or free for the weekend?
Yeah, it's free to keep forever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's you got to download it before the 25th, though, and you keep it forever because it's like one of those stay-at-home type deals. Like a lot of people have been doing that, you know, free games here and there to help people have something to do. So download it. It's a fun game. If you haven't, you know, free, can't beat that. Just wanted to put that out there. Good time here today. Thank you. It was a pleasure doing the podcast with everybody and getting everybody's insight and stuff like that. And we'll see you again next week.
Thank you, Crap. I appreciate that. Guys, just real quick, just going to plug the Twitch channel. Please go over to twitch.tv, the Mooch78, and I'm going to be doing Bloodborne again Saturday afternoon. I hear that I only have about 2-3 hours, maybe 4 hours left in the game, and then we'll beat it, and then won't be beaten, but we'll actually have some DLC to do after that. My point being is, go over, check it out. We're going to continue to stream and continue to do it night in and night out. I appreciate all of your support.
Hey, Mooch, are you going to get Demon Souls?
Absolutely, day one.
I knew you would.
Oh my god! After
that
playing
game
Bloodborne,
looks so good, but it's like
great.
I know I can't fucking play those games.
Oh well, I got news for you. I heard Demon Souls is the hardest of all Souls games. So
yeah, I tried to play it on PS3 with friends. It was I couldn't play it.
No, one's gonna be
it's difficult. Yeah,
at least it'll be a spectacle for our eyes. I'll get news for you. Guys, so go over and check out twitch.tv, the Mooch78. I appreciate that, guys. We'll be back next Friday. Thank you again to Rich Kreischer for the code for The Last of Us 2. Shout out to Attack the Seam for winning the game. You guys are all amazing. Thank you to all the super chats. You guys are all outstanding. And the Mooch Maniacs. We'll do it next Friday. Peace out, everybody. Enjoy The Last of Us 2. Game on this weekend. Peace.
Hit the like button.